make you feel alright.
Good evening, good evening.
Rainbow,
I hope we are good.
the promise, the future, and life.
Yeah.
Let this light that's within me shine to the whole world, whole world. Light, let the dawn of a new day bring understanding and love. Oh, inside, yeah. Inside, bringing hope and make you feel
Hello.
alright.
I hope you are good. Happy Thursday. Yay, my happy day.
Promise the future and life. Let this light that's within me shine to the whole world, whole world.
I see you, Etta. Good evening. Happy Thursday.
Bring understanding and love. Oh, inside.
I hope you are good. I hope your day has been good or your week has been good. So far, so good. Thank God.
Bringing hope and make you feel alright.
I see you, Tammy. Good evening to you. Please help share this live. Thank you so much for joining. Good to see you. I hope your day has been good.
Let the light that's within me shine to the whole world, whole world.
I see you. 07827 so on. Or first base. Okay, thank you so much for joining. Abigail, good evening. Rockstone, I see you. Good evening. All around me, yeah. I hope we're good. Happy Thursday. So I'm just waiting for others to join us. Please help share this live. Let people be part of this talk. We're hitting it on the head today. You know, we've been addressing various aspects of this topic. For today, let's just go there. Oladele, I see you. Thanks for joining. You're also Dab King 355. Welcome. Big one, is that you? I see you, a benevolent. That's what I see, but I don't know. Maybe I can't say the full name, but I can see SH only. Was it SH or sh? I don't know. Good evening. I hope you are good. Yeah, just waiting for other people to join us. It's an interesting topic today. On Thursday, we talk about marriage. And look at the topic today, marriage. We've been looking at various aspects, especially the challenging part of it, because it's always kind of challenging as well, difficult to talk about husband and wife sometimes, and then you find out that things just linger on, and before you know they're separated, before you know the D word is knocking around the corner. But this is not God's intention for marriage. It's very crucial because in as much as we hear the D word, divorce here and there, people are still getting married. What does that tell us really? It tells us something. I hope we're thinking about it. I hope we're reflecting about it. There's a whole lot that goes on in marriage. People say, I never bargained for this. Nobody told me this. Now you're there 10 years, 15 years, 20 years, like myself, 25 years, 26 years. And, you know, you can write a book even. And you've been like, you didn't bargain for this, you know, when you were entering into marriage. But then, till death do us part. or till Christ will come, whichever one happens first. We're meant to be in that union for the rest of our lives. And in it, if we can stay in it, we learn a lot, we grow a lot. Honestly speaking, if your heart is right in it, it's most beneficial. It will be most beneficial to you. Nita, I see you. Thanks for joining. Bibelina, I think. Thanks for joining. Mommy Stella, I see you. Thank you so much for joining. I hope our day has been good. So far, so good. It's a long day for me. Trust me, if I had my way, I'll be sleeping by now. I was this close to say, oh, should I just leave it till next week? I'm like, no, Fumi, you have to do this. This is part of your commitment, you know. Sometimes it's sacrificial, I must say. It's been a long week for me, but I am here by the grace of God. Kita, I see you. Nita, Kita, are you guys following each other? Yes, please, let's follow one another on this platform. Xela, you are welcome. I hope you are good. So I'm just waiting. I'm going to start my talk shortly. And today's topic is interesting. Marriage. Is it, something people are still, interested in? Because I do hear wedding bells every now and then. And I'm like, when you hear the rate at which people are divorcing, and then you still hear the rate at which people are getting married, that means there's still something good about marriage. Does it work out for everybody? Not really. Can it work out for everybody? I believe so strongly. Otherwise, God would not have created that marriage institution. So for me, why is it not working out? I've done this, we've done that, But truly, if you really, really are being honest, check yourself. There's still something you're not bringing on board. There's something your spouse is not bringing on board. And that is why it seems like, for me, I'm not sure this is working. I've tried it for a decade and it's like, oh, this and that. Sometimes it's good, but most part of it is this and that. There is no perfect person and there is no perfect marriage. But if we're both in love, we're both intentional, we're both caring, supportive. There's a long list which we've been talking about for over a year here on Inside. If we can try this, you're trying it. Your spouse is also trying it. I mean, before you know what's happening, you'll be counting 40 years of marriage. I don't know. Start Flash Go, whatever that is. TikTok, please. Let's have a wonderful show today or live today. Okay, it's back. Yeah, so Tai, I see you. Thanks for joining. Queen, you are welcome. I hope you're good. Romantic poets, I hope you're going to stay and give us some romantic lines that can help in our marriage relationship. There's a whole lot, and I always say here on Insight, marriage is not for boys and girls. It's not for lily-livered people. It's not for people who are not ready mentally, physically, emotionally, sacrificially, all of the positive leads you can think of, because it takes a lot to build a marriage. And if you're just partially ready, you will enjoy marriage partially. You have to be in it, all in. And God helping you, you're a person of faith, you pray together and ask God of the universe, God, to help you in that marriage. And guess what? Who better to help us than God, the creator of marriage? He's given us his word. The Bible is there. There's so many rules and regulations, commandments. But you find out that we want to eat our cake and have it. And then we want the best of all marriages. And we're not ready to put in what it takes to have that best of all marriages. So that leaves you and I to sit and reflect. If you're in a marriage relationship, think about it. Is your marriage at the best it can be? Are you putting in your very best in this marriage? Admission 66, I see you're welcome. So hopefully you'll catch my talk today. So guys, I'm going to give my talk today. I don't have a puzzle for today, but hopefully if it gets heated up, maybe we'll just start cracking some jokes so that we can calm down a bit, because marriage is a very crucial topic. If you have been following Inside, You find out that I've been talking about all the challenges, and that's why I'm here on Inside. Those challenges couples shy away from talking about. I dare us on Inside to talk about it. The difficult times, you know, the not so rosy moments and all of that. Let's talk about it, because you find out that if couples are not communicating, a whole lot of things, you know, go wrong. Assumptions, which are mostly negative, you know, and you cannot build a marriage relationship based on assumptions. You have to sit down and have some effective communication with one another. Otherwise, why are you in that marriage? You say, for better, for worse, till death do you part. A lot of things is going to come your way. Are you ready to fight together, whatever comes your way? Or that thing comes and you're not fighting each other instead of fighting that thing. My prayer is that we will have better understanding, deeper understanding, to know the secrets of having a wonderful marriage whilst you're still living. We're not supposed to be enduring. Let's just say endure. I want to enjoy my marriage. We're supposed to be enjoying, not enduring. Come on. There's only so much anyone can endure. But when you're enjoying your marriage, when you're enjoying something given, imagine you love ice cream and you're eating your ice cream, you're enjoying, you don't want it to finish. So when you're in that marriage, you don't want it to end, let alone get into the divorce. No, we don't even want to go there. So welcome. I'm going to go shortly into my talk. And as I give the talk, I always say, let us self-reflect if we are in a marriage relationship. And even if you think things are rosy, oh, for me, we're fine. You know, we speak the same language, all this, but it can still be better. Trust me, it can be better. Or perhaps you are the one God has sent to us tonight to give us some nuggets about how to have a happy marriage. Who knows? So we're going to keep it positive tonight, but at the same time, we're keeping it real. We have to go there to talk about it. We're not going to shy away from it anymore. Enough is enough, as people will say. Let's talk about it. Marriage. And you'll be wondering from me, what aspect are we looking at today? The more reason you should hear my talk, and then you have a better understanding at the perspective we're going to be looking at marriage today, more or less overall, but just to be a bit more focus on a particular, well, is it a particular, but we'll see. Let's see what I've prepared for us, and reflect about it. Reflect about marriage. If you say, oh, you're not in a marriage relationship already, think about your parents, their marriage relationship. At least you can think back to those days. Do you think they had it all? You know, were they, even if they're 50 years in marriage, was it all that put together? Did they never have ups and downs and good moments, bad moments, and all of that? So let's go into this talk today. It is meant to continue to evolve from time to time. Yes, thank you so much, Admission 66. It is meant to, so we know, quote and unquote, God will help us if we allow things to go the right way. Like I always say, you will enjoy the goodness of marriage. Is it easy? Nah. Hard work, commitment, and a whole bunch of other stuff. So I'm going to go into my talk today. We're looking at marriage. I mean, let us go there today. Simply Faith, I see you. Thanks for joining. Let us go there. So you can call it a sacred union and a lifelong journey. Lifelong journey, meaning you're supposed to be in it, and the only thing that can separate you from your marriage is if there's a death in the family, as in maybe the husband dies or the wife dies. Then the Bible that gave us that manual for marriage says you are free, and you are free to either remain single, you are free to marry again. That is only the condition we were given, that we can remarry. But you and I know that a whole lot of, I don't know the English word now, whether scholars or group of people or elite or society or whatever, they have redefined marriage. They have done a whole lot to it that you can't even tell your right from your left anymore. But I'm here in the capacity of God, the creator of heaven and earth, who created the marriage institution for one husband, a man, one wife, a woman. Adam and Eve You know, if you know the Bible story very well, Adam and Eve, they were the first man and woman. I'm not going into theology, whatever tonight. I just go the basic knowledge. So if you go to your Bible, you hear of Adam and Eve. So one man, one woman, God created them for each other. And if you have found that person, you feel, this is the bone of my bone, the flesh of my flesh. And you're so in love, all the butterflies, love is in the air, and all of that. 10 years down the line, why is love not in the air anymore, really? Let's sit down and think about it, because the whole idea is for us to learn, unlearn, and relearn so that we can enjoy our marriage relationship. Okay, I can do this all day, so let me just stick with my notes today so that we'll be more focused. A sacred union and a lifelong journey. That is what marriage is. So marriage, marriage, you're going to be hearing me say that a lot today. Marriage is one of the oldest and most revered institution in human society. It represents a covenant. A covenant. Maybe you should go and Google what does a covenant means, because sometimes when people don't have understanding, they abuse whatever it is. So Google it and look for covenant. What does that mean? It represents a covenant, a lifelong commitment, not just a contract. Not just when you go to registry, you sign that contract, okay, you're not husband and wife, or you go to church and you're signing the documents, husband and wife. It goes beyond that. So across cultures, religions, and generations, marriage has been celebrated as a union that brings companionship. It brings partnership. It brings purpose, and sometimes challenges. If not most times. Most often, challenges as well. It's part of the package. Marriage is not simply about living together. No. So many people can live together, cohabit or whatever. But that is not marriage. Marriage is beyond that. It is about building a life together with this man, with this woman, and damning all else. I dare say that. So today we're going to be exploring the meaning, the purpose, challenges, the joys, and responsibilities of marriage in a very holistic and realistic way. Anna, I see you. David, you're welcome. Mommy Fem, I see you. Thanks for joining. So let's break it down some more. What is marriage? Because we've been talking about it for the last 1 year. All sort of issues in marriage. So what is marriage? Like I say, I believe strongly God created marriage for a husband and a wife. So I'm going to go into my Bible today. If you don't have a Bible, it's all right. You can Google, some Bible portion. Or you can even find time to read, why did God create marriage? To what end? What are we supposed to do? What is the husband supposed to do? What is the wife supposed to be doing? Because if we have better understanding like God did when he created that institution, I don't think there'll be problems in the world, to be honest with you. But I like to daydream sometimes. Well, God help us. Mama T, I see you. Hanan, you're welcome. So what is marriage? Marriage is a covenantal relationship. The word is coming again. It's a covenant relationship between two people. A man and a woman, a husband and a wife, marked by love, commitment, because you can love some people and not be in love with them. Or there's so many definitions these days. Anyways, let's stick to the note. Marked by love, commitment, and mutual responsibility. It is often recognized legally, of course, socially and spiritually. And in so many traditions, marriage is a sacred act ordained by God. You find out that in remote places, in the urban city, wherever, you find out people are getting married. In some places that you feel they're not even advanced, they're not developed. If you go there, they'll say this person is married to that person. So everybody, everywhere in the world, they are getting engaged in marriage in that institution. What does that tell us? No matter how we redefine it or the society redefines it, God has instituted this and it is being practiced all over the world. Yeah. So Biblically, marriage was first instituted by God in Genesis. If you have your Bible, you can open and read with me, or you can Google it. Like I said, if you read Genesis 2:24, it says, "Therefore, a man shall live as in separate, leave his father and mother, and be joined to his wife, and they shall become one flesh." It's only your husband or it's only your wife that you should join together to become one flesh with. And that's why I don't want to go into other subtopics, premarital sex and all of those things. You're not married to this person, yet you are joined to them in one flesh. And then when you're sick and tired of that relationship, you break it off or go elsewhere, you go and be joining again to another one. How long? Because this thing carries some spiritual connotations, spiritual implications that a lot of people do not pay attention to. Do not sniff what you're not going to eat, as they say. So anyway, another topic for another day. Marriage involves more than a ceremony. Some people, it's, oh, the wedding is coming, what are we doing? You know, they're planning and all of that. And in my mind, I'm thinking, are they planning that marriage as well? Not just that ceremony. Okay, it goes beyond that day. After that day, everybody will eat and go. It's now two of you in that marriage, and you can't just sit and be looking at each other. Hey, where do we go from here? Now everybody is gone, you know, and be clueless. No. Please put even extra attention into the marriage proper, not just the ceremony. So it is the daily choice to love, to honor, and cherish another person, your husband, your wife. This is God's design. I'm trying to explain to us here, at least based on my knowledge. So, what is the purpose of marriage? I mean, there has to be a reason why God, in his infinite mercy and love, created the marriage institution. Alice Cash, I see you. Thank you so much for joining. Blessed Riches, I see you. Thank you so much for joining. So, the purpose of marriage, there's so many purposes. I'm just going to mention a few, and that's where you come in to mention the other bits. Like I say, if you give me the whole day, I might not even still cover it all. So I'm just going to mention a few why marriage is a purpose thing. It's very purposeful. One, for companionship, to meet the human need for intimate, to meet human needs for intimate fellowship and emotional support. You cannot have intimate fellowship with every single person. It's not possible. You have a colleague at work, you like them, they like you, they give you support, but you cannot have intimate fellowship with them. You know, that is not, they are work colleague. When you go home, you have intimate fellowship with your spouse, with your husband, with your wife. Emotional support even is meant to come from your husband, from your wife. But you find out that some people, they are having emotional support from an external person who is not their husband. Excuse me, or they're having intimate fellowship with someone who is not their partner. And that's when all this rift, chaos, conflict, and all of these things come in. Suspicious, no trust, no love anymore, this and that. And then what do you expect when this linger on and on? The D word might just come in, or separation. So let's be mindful that the companionship we're building is with our husbands, with our spouse, with our wives. Again, another purpose of marriage is because of partnership. I talked about companionship. Now we're talking about partnership, meaning two individuals working together to fulfill life's purpose. Apologies if you're hearing some voices on the background. Like I say, in my household, it's only when there's a football match on you will hear my voice. Otherwise, you will almost think, are there 4 boys in this house? Yeah, they are there. But anyways, so please, apologies for that. I hope it's not filtering in, but if it is, apologies. So another purpose for marriage is for partnership. 2 people working together to fulfill their life's purpose, doing life together, the good, the bad, the ugly, the highs and the lows, the bed of roses, the thorny bits, and all of that, doing life together. Nash, I see you. Another reason why marriage is of purpose is for procreation and parenting, raising the next generation in love, in security, and in good values. Yesterday I was speaking with okay, I will have to define him because I just call him uncle this, sir, uncle this. But we he's almost 20 years older than me. So we have come together. He's in US. We've come together to construct our family tree so that by the time we're done, everybody will know who's the parent. So we've gone far back as the fourth generation to me. And I've found some of them here in United Kingdom. I'm so excited. In the last 3-4 years, it's been my mission to find my relatives, my cousins, my first cousins, my great grand uncle, and all of that. And it's so amazing, my discovery. It is so amazing that when I meet any family member, I will ask of their name. And if they tell me their name, Olumis or Olumais, I see you, thanks for joining. I'll be like, I know your grandfather. Do you know your grandfather? Oh, no. Do you know their name? And, it's just exciting. What am I saying? Procreation and parenting. Raising the next generation in love. As my forefathers got married, my foremothers, so to say, carried on my forefathers' names, and down the line, their children extending and all of that till it got to my generation. And even my generation now, I have another generation after me. So marriage is very important. Imagine if there's nothing so-called marriage. Everybody will just be everybody's friends. If you want to have a child, just go to number 4 friend and just have a child. If you're tired, I don't know where you now dump that child, go to number 3 friend and have a child, or whatever. Even as a man, you can go to number 2 friend. It doesn't work like that. God was intentional about marriage, and we need to have that understanding. You cannot pick that person out of the millions of people in the world to want to do life with, and then all of a sudden, because they upset you, like you don't want to do life with them anymore, or you're the one, rocking the boat, so to say. So let's be mindful that we are raising a good generation after us, generation that loves, that are secured and have good values. Again, another reason why marriage is purposeful is because of spiritual growth. Marriage sharpens character and teaches forgiveness. It teaches patience. It teaches humility. It teaches unconditional love. Some people, they've never known sacrificial love in their lifetime. It could be from their background or whatever, but now they've decided to love this person. You might have to do certain things that you're not happy all the time to do, but because you want to make sure that your spouse is okay, you have to compromise. Unconditional love. The love cannot be conditioned. When you take good care of me, that's the only time you get all of me. You cannot make it conditional. It should be selfless. And some people might say spiritual growth, marriage. Yes, even if you don't believe in God, but you still believe in marriage and you went ahead, your spouse at one point in time will offend you, or you will offend your spouse. And at one point in time, they would have to forgive you. Forgiveness is of God. Forgiveness is a God's principle. Whether you believe in this God or not, even if it's a humanity thing, God created human, period. So whichever way, you cannot dodge away from it. So it brings about spiritual growth. And the last one I'm going to mention, obvious one, is reflection of God's love. God is love. God is love. He's I don't know how else I can put it. And he wants us to experience that kind of love as well towards one another. God loves us so much. Humanity in this sinful world, he had to send his only begotten son, Jesus, to come and die for humanity so we can reconnect back to him. Other than that, when we allow sin, it takes us away from God's presence. And God wants us to experience this love with ourselves. He gave us a husband, or he gave us the opportunity to have a husband, to have a wife, to show this kind of unconditional love too. So in Christian belief, marriage mirrors Christ's love for the church. Christ took on the church as his bride. A husband takes on the wife as his bride, and he should be ready to die for her, not be the one to kill her. I don't want to use that word again, or to unalive her, as you know, as we say. Kelvin, I see you. So if you read Ephesians 5:25, I'm not going to go into that, but you can read that in your own time, knowing God's love, why he made us to understand that the love he kind of has for us is like that love that Christ had for the church, that he came to die for the church, so that the church is you and I, by the way. I'm not talking about the building. We are the church. So that is another purpose. God wants us to experience that kind of love. There is no other love that you can find that you can replace a husband's love or wife's love for each other. There is no other love you can use to replace that, or that can be better built than that. Because with this person, he said the two shall be naked, and they will not be ashamed. You cannot afford to be naked with everybody. You and I know that. But this one person, Funjodan, I see you. Thank you so much for joining. This one person, they know you're in and out. They know where you have that mole on your back and all of that. Imagine a colleague just walks and say, I see that mole at the middle of your back. Won't your husband or wife be wondering how on earth they got to know that? They're not meant to know that. It's for your husband, for your wife. Tops. Maybe your children may have seen your back when you're at home or whatever. Maybe, but not a colleague, not a friend. Well, maybe roommate or whatever may have, I don't know, but you know what I'm trying to say. So it is sacred. This thing called marriage, this institution called marriage, I have never seen any other institution that is as sacred as this marriage union. So let us look at the key pillars of a strong marriage. If you feel your marriage is not strong enough, where's my water? Maybe there's one or two things you need to look at as well, pay attention to. And you might have to work things out. Like I say, it's hard work, but it's enjoyable. So let's look at the key pillars of a strong marriage. I'm talking here, anything I'm sharing is even out of my own 26 years experience, but I don't have it all. I know people who are 36 years and they're married 50 years. But the little I have gathered, the little knowledge I've gathered over the years, why not share it? Why not let's talk about things? I'm not perfect. My husband is not perfect. So don't feel I'm coming here to talk at us. No, we're rubbing minds together. And that's how I always bring people up at the end of the day. Let us discuss this some more. What is your idea? What is your ideal thinking about this topic? Because it's affecting marriage. Fine, we're talking about marriage today. If you look at past topics we've dealt with, it's issues affecting marriage that we can actually do away with if we are ready to put in the hard work. So if you want a strong marriage, let's look at these key things that must be in your marriage, not from other people, but from you to your husband, you to your wife. Otherwise, what are you doing? You're wasting your life. You're wasting a lifetime journey that you ought to have been spending with someone you truly care about. So let's look at these key pillars of a strong marriage. The first is love. Honestly, the first is love. I tried to rearrange it, but I'm going to leave it at that. The first one is love, not just emotional love, but sacrificial love, unconditional love that gives even when it's hard. Oh, do you think I want to do all of the things I've had to do over the years? Not all the time. I could be a bit selfish. Anybody can be a bit selfish. But you look again. You've given your life to this person. You might as well do the extra bit. I mean, what harm will it cost? So love has to be there. And I always wonder, most people, I don't think I've ever seen or experienced all the weddings I've been to in my life where they had to point a pistol to the head of the wife or the husband to say, you must say I do, otherwise you're not going to get married. So they're like, hey, I'm scared. Okay, I do. Do you take this person to be your lawful wedded husband? And you're shaking like, hey, they have put a pistol on your head, you must say I do. No, I've never seen that. You see them even walk in with their own 2 feet, walking. Of course, I've seen and I've experienced where a bride will run away and all of that, yeah. But when you stand at that altar or the registry or wherever to say I do, there has to be love there. They say fake it till you make it, but not like marriage. Because if you fake it, you'll be fake all through. God helping you, that genuine love would now eventually come. But you know how hard that's going to be. So love is very important. You love this person you want to do life with. Otherwise, do not waste their time. Do not waste your time. Make sure that at least you love this person. If not the totality of them, at least you love them 99% to want to say, I do. And know that this love, come what may in that marriage, you will need it to sustain a lot of things. Let me not divert. The second key pillar thing I'm going to mention is commitment. Hey, this is serious, guys. If you're not a committed person, I don't think marriage would be for you until your mind is set and ready, until you are ready to be a committed person, because marriage will require commitment. You're now married, you're still behaving like a bachelor. You're now married, you're behaving like a spinster. It doesn't work like that. There will be problems, there will be conflicts. Are you committed enough to say, okay, I'm going to be committed to this person for the rest of my life? Even when things are rough, I'm not going to just push them aside and go and be committed to somebody else and then come back. This is what we've seen all the time, most of the time in some situations. But should it be so? No, it shouldn't be. And that's why you have people separating, people divorcing. Feelings may change. Trust me, feelings may change. And God help you if that love is not there. That love is coming to be tried. It's coming to be tested by something, some challenge, some situation, to see whether you truly love each other and you're going to stick by each other through this challenge. That love is going to be tested. So now imagine that love is not there. How would you pass that challenge? Food for thought. Like I said, apologies, my boys. When the football match is on, you hear them voices. So feelings may change, but commitment anchors a marriage through the good and the bad times. When you're committed, you know, like, you can even say to your spouse, you're really upsetting me right now. You're annoying me right now. But because I'm committed, I'm not going anywhere. Do your worst or whatever. You can dare them to it. You're not going anywhere. No matter how much tantrum they're throwing and all of that, you are going to stay put. Commitment, that is what is called. Then the third key strong point for a strong marriage, effective communication. There is communication, don't get me wrong, but I'm talking about effective communication. You're communicating with your spouse effectively because there has to be a change, or things must move, or things must happen. Because if we keep quiet, even if our spouses are mind readers, they might not always read right all the time. And then, I mean, they're not perfect, are they? So, communication, effective communication is very, very crucial to make a marriage a strong one. Open, honest, and respectful communication is essential for understanding and resolving conflicts. Food for thought. Think about it. If you feel you've been talking and it's not, your spouse is not understanding, or it's like you don't understand, it's like you're speaking Greek and they're hearing English or whatever it is, find out about that. Are you open and honest? Guys, can you keep the noise down a bit, please? Thank you. So, are you respectful in your communication to your spouse? Some people, it's just the way you talk to them when you want to have this communication. It just puts them off. It's like, can't you talk better, or can't you relay better? Why are you so harsh? Why are you so disrespectful? And you want me to listen, and then they now even leave what you're talking about and they're attacking that disrespect. You can imagine that is not effective, and it's not going to resolve any conflict. So another one I want us to look at, those are key 3 things that I mentioned, because there's a lot of them. Like I said, there's so many others. Shared values and visions, a common direction, and shared priorities unify a couple beyond temporary feeling. It brings couple deeper because you share values, you share vision for your family, even for you as an individual in that marriage relationship. And Norieta, I see you. Thank you so much for joining. User 4814, you're welcome. Again, faith and forgiveness. If you want to have a strong marriage, you must have faith in your spouse. You must be ready to forgive them. Under the shared values and vision, like I said, one husband, one wife, they come together to be one. But they're still individuals, but they're together building something, building a life together. That doesn't mean for the fact that you're now married, you should lose who you are as a person. You don't have no identity, no say about your life. You have personal values and visions and ambition. It should still be. And your spouse also have their one. It should be, you should support each other to achieving those individual ambition and vision and all of that, as well as you have a family value, family vision that you both work on, and you even pass this on to your children. So let's not mix it up. So I'll come back to the faith and forgiveness. For those of faith, even if you're not of faith, the moment you go into marriage, I tell you, God created marriage. You're just in denial as far as I'm concerned. So for those of faith, prayer, grace, and forgiveness are vital tools for healing and growing. I can't begin to count how many times I've offended my husband. I can't begin to count how many times he has offended me, right? I'm still here after 26 years. I ain't going nowhere. And I'm sure he's not going anywhere. Tomorrow, we'll still upset one another. Next tomorrow, we'll make up. The day after, we might make up. The day after that, we might just, have our thing again. But forgiveness is key. Even if you don't want to forgive any other person that have hurt you, not like your spouse. Because you've been living in bitterness. You've been living in anger. You've been living in frustration. Because this person is here to stay. They are not going anywhere. The earlier you forgive or forgave them, the better for you. So you can start enjoying that marriage relationship again. And it's good for healing. Sometimes some people fall sick because they've harbored this unforgiveness for so long. The bitterness is eating deep into their organs. I'm telling you, this happens. And that's why I think I saw some clips some time ago that they found out that some elderly women in America or so, they live longer because they go to church. They're always singing. They don't like holding anyone, keeping malice and things like that. And they found out that they're living longer. Their bodies, their organs is not shutting down on them. I'm like, if this is true, you've offended me. Okay, I'm upset. Okay, I forgive you. Just forgive and forget and let's go, so that your organs will not start eating itself because of the bitterness you're carrying. So let's be mindful. In a marriage relationship, you just have to know the key pillar for a strong marriage. You must learn to forgive. You must learn to forgive. It's very crucial. Otherwise, you have no business being in that marriage. I mean, pretty much so. If you have that understanding, you know that your spouse is going to offend you, be ready to forgive even before they offend you. Yeah. So let's look at challenges in marriage. In a way, I've talked about it here and there, but let's focus on it now. Challenges in marriage. This is what we've done for the last 1 year. We've talked about abuse in marriage, gaslighting in marriage, marriage and discomfort, and all sorts, over the last year. So, challenges in marriage, no matter what, no marriage is perfect. No marriage is perfect because no individual is perfect. There are so many challenges a marriage will face. I'm going to mention a few bits, and you also can just type on there if anyone comes to mind. Hopefully I don't miss it. So the first one is differences in expectation. It's always a challenge. Maybe you're together, you're growing, 5-6 years into that marriage, you just find out that you're beginning to grow apart because your expectation has changed, and you probably haven't talked about it with your spouse, and their expectation is changing as well, and you find out that you're like this. Unless you sit and talk to bring those expectations to the table, otherwise you may just be drifting apart. And if it goes on for so long, you just find out that you don't have any much thing in common. But that is not how to grow a strong marriage. So these are some of the challenges a marriage will face. Differences in expectations. Expectations you understand as you go along in the marriage, and if for any reason your expectation of your spouse changes, talk to them about it. Or your own expectation has changed, talk to them about it. Health issues is another challenge. Yes, thank you so much, Admission 66. Health challenge. I know of people, they like, it's my it's my husband till death do, I mean till death or whatever do. That death is can be defined in so many ways. Health challenges. I've heard of cases where husband, was feeling a bit poorly. He just went to hospital for a checkup and they say cancer stage 4. 2 weeks time he was gone. Can you imagine? So I do understand health issues can also be a challenge. Or at the time you were married, things were okay, and maybe 10-15 years into the marriage, one spouse, for whatever reason, traveling, had an accident, they lost their limb. When you were marrying, you never in a million years would think you'll be married to someone without a limb. But they had limb, but accident happened into the years into that marriage, and their legs are gone, or their arms are gone, or something is gone, and this can pose a big challenge in terms of health. So thank you so much for that. Another challenge marriage can face, I'm talking about common challenges like a marriage, any marriage, whether you're with the elite, whether you live in the city, suburb, or wherever, these are common challenges any marriage can face. House of Three Zudi, I don't know how to pronounce that. You're welcome. Another one is financial pressure. Hey, financial, especially in this economy of today, everything is rising. The prices of everything is going up, and if care is not taken, if you're not managing your finances well, and you start fighting each other because of mismanagement of finances, it can go on and on and on. And when it comes to money, hey, money sometimes they say money is the evil of is the evil or whatever. No, money is not evil. It's what we do with it that makes it evil. Anyway, that's another story. External pressure, yeah, which is I think one of my key points as well. External pressure and influences, yes, indeed, that can be a challenge to any marriage out there. So coming back to that financial pressure, sit together, plan together. If anything must change financially, it's better you both are aware so you don't catch each other by surprise. And then this can linger and bring big conflicts that you may have to go away from the house for a while because of the annoyance or whatever it is. So don't allow this kind of challenge to break your marriage. Financial pressures, do not allow that to pressurize you. Help each other, understand each other, plan together so that you are on board at all times. Even if you don't sit and talk about money for the next 2 years, you're on the same page. And that's a very healthy way, to live in one's marriage. Another challenge is the communication breakdown. Every Thursday, we always mention communication, this, communication, that, because it's one of the key ingredients that will build a lasting marriage. If it's not there, if it's not enough, or if it's so much, I don't know what else. Okay, if it's not enough, it will create a problem. So communication breakdowns are major key things that bring about challenges in a marriage. Some may say, once upon a time we talk about everything and anything, but these days I'm talking, you're not even listening. I'm talking, you're not even responding. I want to talk to you. When will you have time? And it seems communication seems to be breaking down. Or one party is eager to communicate, the other party is posing too big or whatever. Who else will you be talking with if not your spouse? Come on, people, we can do better. Rather be by yourself than to talk to the whole world and neglect your spouse. That is not going to build a lasting marriage, trust me. So when you see any sort of breakdown or cracks coming into, especially in terms of communication, be the one. The moment you see it, don't wait for your spouse and say, anyways, the role of this person is the role of, hey, it will affect you in the long run. So best call your spouse down and talk to them. Say to them whatever it is you're experiencing. Another challenge is unresolved past issues or past traumas. And this can be looked in various ways. I'll take 2 for today. It can happen slowly. Arrest it. Exactly. You just found out that you've gone 2-3 days. You haven't really said anything tangible to one another. Be careful. What was I saying? Unresolved past issues. I'm going to break it down into 2. Past issues or past trauma. The first aspect is unresolved past issues in your past relationship that you have not resolved, but you left it there and you went into another relationship that led to a marriage. Now you're in this marriage and you're not giving it your all because you're having difficulties letting go of that past issue or past trauma from your past relationship or from where you were growing up, your background or whatever it is. And then again, unresolved issue now in your marriage. Maybe your marriage is 3 years old and you thought of this thing they did to you when you were 1.5 and you have not resolved it, and it's still coming out offish in your behavior or your attitude, and your spouse is wondering, I thought they've forgiven me this thing, but the way they're behaving is like, it doesn't seem like they fully, and you make your spouse to be wondering your behavior, whatever. So this can be a challenge. And then when the spouse comes and say, but you've forgiven me this, I thought it's in the past and you're still like, no, you're still traumatized by this, and you left it, you kept quiet. This can be a big thing, because the next time your spouse will be like, anytime I do anything wrong, I'm not going to tell you because you find it hard to forgive or something. The way this mind reason, trust me, it's better to sit and talk about it, whether by hook or by crook. Sit and talk about it. It can be discomforting, but at the end of the day, it's going to achieve a positive goal. So please don't hide things or don't leave past unresolved issues or traumas. Leave it to your spouse to deal with or whatever. You're bringing all this character, and so be mindful as well. External influences, your point, admission. External influences, and I'm talking about family members, I'm talking about work colleague or work, and even social media. I've heard of cases where social media has broken a couple up, many of them I want to believe, and I'm wondering, how can now social media, leave it where it is media in and let it be, but you find out that no, this person, anything in their home, it must go live. Not even you will post later, it must go live. You just bought this tissue, go live. You just bought this remote, go live. And they're like, hello, are you married to me or this social media? It's crazy, because some people, when they take on board something, they go to the extreme and they don't care who it is affecting. So let's be mindful that our family members are not interfering unnecessarily, asking have you sat down today? Have you done this today? Is your wife doing this? You better tell your wife, oh, don't let her treat you this way. Don't let your husband do it. And they keep interfering, and this can become a problem, because the husband will come one day and say, can your sister not mind her business? And the wife too goes, your brother is doing, this create problem in a marriage. So couples out there, be mindful. Allow very, very minimal interference, in fact none at all, from your family members. If they come to call you to want to ask wait, let my husband come, we'll sit and have this conversation. If you say, no, I don't want your husband, I don't want your wife, then it's not a conversation to be had. Let them go. Again, work. External influences. Are you allowing work to bring that challenge to your marriage? Some people, they don't have a closing time. Their official closing time is 6 p.m. but they close 6 a.m. to start again 6 a.m. Adegbenga, welcome. Good evening. I hope you're good. So let's be mindful. Let's be mindful that we're not allowing work to interfere with our marriage, creating this challenge, problems, conflicts. Some will say, that man, that woman, they're married to their work, and the person will be bragging, oh yeah, I love my work. Something is wrong up here. Yeah, okay, good to see you. Happy Thursday. It's amazing how we allow certain flimsy things to become a stronghold in our marriages, and it's not helping us. Yeah, keep a balance. Of course, admissions, we have to keep a balance. Otherwise, that's why we're where we are in our society with our marriages today. Let's be mindful. Another key thing I want to say that brings challenge is complacency and taking each other for granted. My people will say, see finish. You have seen me finish. When you're so complacent about your spouse, when you're taking them for granted, it's like I'm not, you don't even honor me anymore. You don't respect me anymore just because I'm your wife, just because I'm your husband. But it shouldn't be so. When you make your spouse lose sort of respect that you give to them, you will say, it's just my husband, don't mind. It's just my wife. No, they're not finding it funny. You need to pay attention. Do not take each other, even if you've been married for 60 years, do not take each other for granted, because those kind of things, it hurts. Whether a man or a woman, it will hurt. So be mindful that you're paying attention and you're showing gratitude to your spouse as much as possible. Like I said, sometimes you do take each other for granted, and it shouldn't be so if we're trying to build a strong marriage. Again, facing challenges doesn't mean a marriage is failing. I say this again, facing challenges does not mean a marriage is failing. Admissions, if you can help me type it on that screen, please, I would really love it. Facing challenges doesn't mean a marriage is failing. And when people lack this understanding, that's where there is problem. The fact that I'm not seeing eye to eye with my husband now doesn't mean, hey, my marriage has failed. Okay, pack you and go. Me too, pack and go. No, it's a phase that you have to go through to get to the other side to be better. And trust me, there's another challenge waiting for both of you there. So it often means an opportunity for deeper growth and renewed commitment. And that's how you get to know each other some more, especially through those challenges. You've gone through it together. You see how you stood with one another. In fact, by the time you come through to the other side, you both will look back and say, how did we scale that? Oneness, unity, togetherness helped you through. And now it's even brought you so. Thank you so much. Facing challenges does not mean a marriage is failing. That's why I said there are ups and downs in a marriage. I can't begin to tell you my one. Does it ever end? Well, maybe you wait till Christ comes to know. So it often means an opportunity for deeper growth and renewed commitment to one another. Some challenges will come that you guys, you know that you have to go before God again and say your wedding vows all over. It won't cost you nothing, but it would mean a lot to your spouse, meaning you're recommitting yourself to this relationship once more. And please, in your lifetime, in your marriage lifetime, do this as often as you feel necessary. Don't just say on that wedding day, we said it and that's it. From time to time, you may need to revisit those statements again, just to renew your commitment, always evolving. Yeah. Because like I said here, the me, my husband married 26 years ago is not the me living with him today. I have grown, I have developed physically, robustiously or whatever. all of I was so skinny. Now I'm not that skinny anymore. In fact, sometimes nobody, in fact, when my mom sees me, they never thought I'll be this chubby or this big. I was skinny, like skinny. What was the name they were calling me? Opelenge. If you know that, help me translate. So I've changed, I've developed, I've grown. Hallelujah. I wanted to say my husband's food is good. Oh, yeah, it is good. Likewise, mine. In fact, some people will see my husband and say, what have you done to your husband? I'm like, yeah, my cooking is good. It's that good. You can see the healthy living man standing next to me. Jokes aside, just know that those challenges will make you stronger if you can learn to navigate it together rather than navigate through one another. It's a partnership. It's a relationship that you share with this person intimately, more so with no other person on earth. That's how it's meant to be. Your partner will know you cherish them, you value them, and they hold you in high esteem as well. So let's look at the role of each partner. And this one, I wish I could break it down, but because of time, I'm looking at the time now. So, like I said, God's intention is for a husband, a wife, a man, and a woman to be in that relationship. And each one, they have a role. This thing, I cannot overemphasize, but to say it again here, we often put our own individual translation to it. There is nowhere in my Bible that says wife will be underneath the husband, or wife will be subjected to the husband, or wife is I don't even know all these derogatory words they use for wives beside the husband. No, We are joint heirs with Christ. My husband is a believer, I'm a believer. Together we're joint heirs with Christ, and we've come together believers as a husband and wife. I am not supposed to be a slave to him, neither is he supposed to be a slave to me or whatever. So this thing called marriage is a partnership thing. Partnership. We need to get this understanding. And I'm going to go back to the Bible again. I'm not apologizing for that, because like I said, God created marriage. So the role of each partner, marriage requires mutual contribution. Mutual. Not like that. Not this way. Mutual. Yeah? I'll just mention briefly, and I'm going to give us a portion of the Bible as well, which a lot of people always pass by when they're talking about Bible verses for husbands and wife. They just jump straight. Hey, wife, submit to your husband. Hey, I don't know. They just leave the preceding verse and they just go straight into that. I'm like, you can't have a better understanding unless you even read the whole chapter. God helping us. Marriage requires mutual contribution. Husbands are called to love sacrificially and lead with humility. How many husbands, if I ask today, can you die for your wife? You scratch the head for me. That one a long thing, no. Last, everybody go survive. Waiting. All of those talks, But if you read that Bible carefully, it kind of outlines whose role is what to do what, not which human being is under the other person. No. And it says wives are called to support, nurture, and partner alongside their husbands, not underneath their husbands, not above their husbands, alongside. That's why I'm using my hand. I hope you can see. Both are called to respect, to listen, encourage, and serve each other. I'll read that portion of the Bible that a lot of people ignore when they're talking about Bible passages relating to husband and wife. You can Google it. Like I said, you don't have to even be a believer. You can always Google this Bible portion. Hi, A13. How are you, brother? God bless you. What is good evening? Now, don't let me even go there. It's French that's coming to my mind. So if you read Ephesians 5:21, a lot of ministers, a lot of people who talk about marriage, they just skip that bit and go to the next one, because they just like to say, straight, wife, submit to your husband. They love that bit. Oh my God. Anyways, don't let me overflog it, but you get what I mean. Ephesians 5:21, it says, submitting to one another. It is a submitting under one another. It says submitting to one another in the fear of God. If you have the fear of God, why would you want your wife to be subject to you, to be your slave? I don't understand. Are we using culture to read the Bible? Another topic for another day. It's a partnership, not a power struggle. They are partners, but the husband's role is to be the head. The wife's role is to support, respect, and all of those things that has been said. Their roles are different. People, I need us to get this. I'm a bit tired, but I'm here, and I'll say the truth, the reason I'm here. A husband and a wife, they are partners, but their roles are different, meaning the things they ought to do in that marriage, they are different. You can never, no matter how educated or how logical you want to reason it, the man will always be the head. Whether he sits in that role is a different thing, because you and I know life happens. Some people don't stay in their role, they stick, they swap, they do all sorts. And that's why we have all sorts happening in marriage. Husband and wife partnership, the husband's role is the head, the wife is there to support. Thank you, my brother. So if you read the verse, don't cut 21 away. Verse 21, don't ever cut that bit away, because that is the foundation to the explanation from verse 22. And a lot of people are missing it. A lot of people are not getting it right. What is this again? Which of these objects bounces on courts? Ball, football. This TikTok wahala. Confirm. Okay, I'll pass. So please never ignore Ephesians 5:21 and just skip to 22, 23 and the rest. That's why people are having issues understanding God's intention about marriage. It goes a long way and we need to understand it. Okay, still there. Listen. Yeah. God helping us. We're partners, we're not supposed to be power struggling. And if there's some sort of power struggling, you find out that each person, they're not occupying their role. And that's why there's a lot of issues that we've been talking about for the last 1 year. You see them. Thank you so much, Leslie. Good evening to you. So let's look at the importance of growth together. Importance of growth together. As life changes, individuals changes too. They will change. Because like I said, the me that got married is not the me sitting in front of you 26 years on. No, I have grown. I have changed physically, mentally, emotionally, all the least you can think of. Even the emotionally, physically is still in changing, you know. A healthy marriage involves growing individually and together. That's why I say don't get into a marriage and lose who you are as a person. God has created you, husband, for a purpose, you, wife, for a purpose, and together you will support one another to make sure that each person fulfills their purpose as an individual and together as a family. It's very important. Don't go into a marriage to lose who you are. Some people don't know who they are. And likewise, when they now come out of that marriage, they are lost. And you find them using words like, I'm rediscovering myself. Why? That means you stop discovering yourself because you got married. Let's get it right. God helping us. Again, supporting each other's dreams. This is crucial. I've seen couples competing with dreams, like you did this, I'm doing that. No, it's not supposed to be so. Husband is doing something, wife support. Wife is doing something, husband support. Don't come and be, oh, husband is doing one, I'm going to do two. Wife is doing two, husband wants to do three. That is just foolishness as far as I'm concerned. Then who's supporting who? Let's learn to support each other's dreams, even if you don't understand it. It is your duty as a partner to support their dreams, as long as it's not anything negative, mind you. Again, adapting to new seasons, parenthood, career shift, aging. I say I want to age gracefully. Some people, they're like, fine. People say, you look too young. I say, look, my age, I know my numbers. If you like, give me compliments. Thank you for the compliments. For me, I know my age. Okay? So, no matter what, the people might be saying all sorts. But know that season come, season go. Once upon a time, I was a teenager. Sometimes when I'm addressing my wife, I say, hey, you people think I felt like an adult from heaven. I was once a teenager. I once wore Pampers, you know? And they will start laughing. I'm like, yeah, to drive home my point. What do you mean? I don't understand. Oh, I was once a teenager, my dear. Get that in your mind. Season come, season go. When I was 5 years in my marriage, I barely knew much, even as such. 10 years, I'm like, wow, 10 years? I felt like, okay, I'm beginning to learn and know and all of that. 26 years on, I feel like a grandma in my own marriage even now. Just kidding. Well, I mean, you get what I'm saying. Times changes, sometimes your body changes, and I've heard of a case where some women would tell their husband or husbands they don't want to have any children, they don't want to lose their hourglass shape. And you think they're joking, but these people are not joking. They will face the career, and you're talking, my dear, it's been 10 years now, let's just have one. They say, I told you I'm not ready to lose all this. Hey, you would think it's something else. World War IV, we almost even want to happen. So season comes, season go. When you not even have children, it's a different change that comes, and you have to learn to adapt to bring that about that growth. Sometimes I used to tease my husband when we just had 2 boys. I say, hey, if we were living in Nigeria, I don't think you even know how to change Pampers. Or he too will laugh. They say, you, even me, I will not know. I say, how can my children? Say, because you have house helps or whatever. I said, no. Me, hey, if you know the kind of bonding I plan to have with my children that I did not get from my own folks, don't even go there. So imagine. So a time would come maybe in your 40s or thereabout, 30, 40s, you want to change your career, or you want to make a decision about career. You're supposed to be there. That is a new season for either of you, whoever's chasing career. Thank you so much, 813. I know once you come in, that heart will start going up. So let's be mindful. And aging as well. I mean, my husband can't use me for 26 years and be thinking I'll still be that sepe he married. I'm speaking grammar now. You know, I've changed. My body has increased. Is the height? I don't think so, but it is well. You know, so you have to learn to adapt to all these changes with the one you love, with the one you have chosen to spend the rest of your life with. Again, keeping romance, friendship, and fun alive. Best marry your best friend so that even if love is fizzling out, your friendship will still be there as such, and you still have fun the best way, and then hopefully a bit of romance in there will bring back that love for real. So marriage isn't about fixing your partner, because a lot of us tend to do that. I'm guilty as charged, or he's guilty as charged. It's about building each other up. Of course, you know there are some habits you have to do away with. No doubt about that, but I'm not going to sit and plan, how would I change my husband? What would I do? No, I'll be wasting my time. Hey, it's only God that can change the heart of anyone anyways. So it's not about fixing your partner, but, you know, living life with them and building each other up. And as you're building each other up, one or two things they may identify that, you know, is not helping. Don't be proud to let go of such. Don't be proud. Don't let ego come in the way, because everybody, I want to believe, wants the best for each other, not tearing each other down. Exactly. Some couples, that is their thing. If they don't tear each other down, they are not normal. They are not okay. And they feel this is okay. Probably it's what they knew from where they're coming from. But is that the best? No. Because we don't want to pass such attitude to the next generation. I'm going to be rounding up soon. You know, it's a big topic. And apologies if I'm, you know, expanding it. But I really have to, so we can have a better understanding. To those who are thinking, what is marriage all about? At least if you've heard me from the beginning, I'm sure you have an idea right now of what marriage is about. Marriage in today's society, if that would be most of our focus today, honestly, modern culture often portrays marriage as optional, outdated, or disposable. If I'm not enjoying it, I just dispose it and get another one after all. That's why I said, if you have the mindset of God concerning marriage, you will not think to dispose of your marriage just like that. Yet, the truth remains, a strong, loving marriage creates stability, not just for couples. Guys, not just for couples, but for their children, the communities around, and the society at large. If the family or the family keeps breaking down, you will have broken people in the communities, broken people attaching to broken people to building a home, societies, broken down people in the society, and it just goes on and on and on. So where would we have the whole as such that will make life better for everyone in the society, everyone in the community, even for our children? So marriage requires intentionality. I cannot overemphasize this. More than ever, it requires intentionality. More than ever, guarding time together, like you're intentional, spending time together. Don't let it go for too long. You're wondering, do I even know whether she's still fat or she still thin, whether he's still eating banana or not, or whatever. You don't know. There's this trivia, marriage trivia thing. Maybe I'll bring it one of these days and come and put Leslie on the spot, Adebinga on the spot. You bring your missus, we'll come and do marriage trivia. And then we'll ask each other, we'll ask you questions about your husband, you about your wife. And then we'll see whether you people truly know each other. The basic things, you know. Make sure you have time together. Protecting your relationship from negative influences is on both of you. Not just the husband, not just the wife. It's on both of you to make sure that you're guarding that relationship with all jealousy, with all safety, with all, you know, carefulness, so to say. Don't allow any negative influences. Some people, they're being attacked by outsiders. Maybe a wife is being attacked by outsiders. The husband like, yes, I told her, tell her that. No. You will not sleep well in that house that night. And it's no joke, I'm telling you. Or I say the husband, yes, tell him. He feels he's too proud. And you're helping them to fight him. You know you will not sleep in that house that night. Anyway, so let's just be protective of our relationship, of our marriage relationship, from all the negative influences out there. And again, seeking help when needed in terms of counseling. If you must, please. It's not a shameful thing. It's a strong thing to do as a couple if need be. Or could be mentorship. Seek mentorship, to help you. People who are way older than you in your marriage, who can mentor you, or who can give you advice, seasoned, positive advice. Not the ones that will give you advice and the next thing everybody's filing for divorce. We don't want that one. So I'm going to be concluding shortly. Marriage is a sacred journey of love, of sacrifice and growth. It demands work. It demands, I didn't say it needs, it demands work. Patience. Hey. Patience. Whoever has patience out there, we need you. It demands forgiveness and grace, respect, all of those things I can't begin to mention, but you know what I'm trying to say. It offers companionship, it offers purpose and deep joy when we do what we're meant to do in that relationship. These are things we're supposed to enjoy in that marriage relationship when we put in the work. When two individuals commit not just to each other, but to the ongoing work of becoming a better partners. As in, this is your priority in life, how to be a better wife, how to be a better husband, and both of you have that mindset. Tell me how you not enjoy that marriage. Tell me. Marriage becomes not a prison, but a garden or a palace, you can call it that, or a place where love, trust, faith, and dreams will grow. And imagine passing this beautiful thing to your children, and then they can also pass it on to their children. Not the brokenness of it, not the brokenness of marriage. We're just passing on. Everybody broke left, right, and center. Broke one, come to broke and marry, and brokenness again. I mean, where does that brokenness or brokenness, where does it stop? Whichever English now, I'm even lost for words. So a successful marriage is not one, or is not when the perfect couple comes together. It is when an imperfect couple learns to enjoy their differences. That was by Dave Mora. He said that. A successful marriage is not when the perfect couple comes together, but it is when an imperfect couple learns to enjoy their differences. What a beautiful world that will be. Whether you are single, whether you are engaged, newly married, or seasoned in years, the principles of a healthy, underline, marriage are timeless. They are timeless. Love deeply, forgive freely, communicate honestly, and grow continually. That is the end of my talk. However, my one question today is, do people still value marriage in this 21st century? What do you think? Do people still value marriage in this 21st century? Thank you guys for listening. Try what? I see you. Khalifa, I see you. TJ, I hope you're there. I hope you're gonna stay. The promise, the future, and life. I'll be back going to vote. What's today? Thursday. Okay, well, I hope it's not too far away from home. Please vote well. You let the Spirit of God direct you. Thank you so much. Okay, I'll be expecting you back, Leslie. Thank you so much. Thank you guys for listening to my talk. Today's topic is marriage. We've been talking all aspects in marriage, out of marriage, da da da. Today, let's even go there. We dare us to talk about marriage. So I've given my talk and tried to expand it as much as possible, but I can never cover all of it. That's where you come in. What is your take about it? Do people still value marriage in this 21st century? What is your take about that? We can start off with that, or whatever comes to mind when you think marriage. Please share with us. We're here to learn. Like I say, 26 years in it, I'm still learning. I'm still a student of marriage. Trust me, you can never outlearn everything or whatever. No, we still have to keep learning because things are seasonal. What I know yesterday might not work for today, so I have to learn to make sure that it works still. So let's send an invite. Let's talk about this topic, marriage. When somebody say marriage, what comes to your mind? Are you scared? Are you excited? Are you like it is well? Are you speechless? What comes to mind when we're talking about marriage? Want to hear your views? Do you think people still value marriage in this 21st century? They used to say for
I'm
better,
moving.
for
I'll be on the
worse.
site for now.
Okay, it's all right. You can be there. Adegbenga Elda. Adegbenga, you're welcome. How are you? Big one, if you run away, I need you in this box today. So, good evening once again and welcome to Insight. And I'm sure you heard a bit of my talk, or well, I don't know how much of it you heard. We're talking about marriage today, as my people will say. Let us talk about this marriage. Do you think people still value marriage in this 21st century? I was about to say, yeah, for better, for worse, for richer, for poorer, and all those things. People, they're almost even changing those wedding vows from time immemorial. We've always said that. They'll say for richer, they don't say for poorer, they've removed poorer. For better, they don't put for worse anymore. I don't know whether they think it's me they're deceiving or what, I don't know. Because we know that all of these things you will face in your marriage at some point in time. So I think I've done much talk today. So I want to hear from all of you. Elder Adegbenga, I don't know if you're ready to talk. What is your take about this, our interesting topic today? I don't know if you're okay. Good evening, brother.
Good evening, ma.
Well done. Welcome. Good to see you again.
Everyone.
I hope your day has not been too tiring like me. You can see I look very tired. I'm really trying to not be, but this body sometimes will tell you go rest. But hopefully we'll not stay too long today. Hopefully, but we'll see how it goes.
Hopefully.
Yeah.
Yeah, people still believe in marriage.
Yay.
You see, it is an institution where you've said most part of it. You know, I've seen, although we've seen people with issues, people that were doing well in a relationship than marriage. We've seen issues, and we've seen people that were not doing well initially growing to be doing far more better than anybody could imagine.
Oh.
You know, when we learn to follow the rule of Christ, which says, deny yourself daily, pick up your cross and follow me. You know,
Yeah.
yeah. Yoruba have an adage that says, no, there is no how a man would walk without the head shaking.
Ah,
You know,
it's a particular tribe that I know as you spoke. Never mind.
so don't mind me. I'm also in the kitchen as well.
Oh, hey, all these our cooks, our chefs, our men chefs. Well
Yeah.
done. Let me just. Oh, let's not take him today. He's just gone to vote, so he'll be back.
So Um,
What are you cooking, Seth? What are you cooking, Elder?
ah, if I tell you, you will change your base, though.
Ah, do I not want to know now? Just tell us, no wahala. Don't worry, I'll drink water and swallow it.
Don't let me tell you. I'm doing well. I'm doing spaghetti and some grilled chicken.
Oh, okay. I
It's a
thought you were going to say bolognese
it's a
sauce.
barbecue chicken. Sorry?
Wow. I thought you were going to say bolognese sauce.
Nah, nah.
Okay. Chicken. Yeah, we can do chicken. So yeah, let's hear you as you're doing your cooking.
Okay.
Yeah.
So, any woman
Mm.
who wants to go into
Oh,
marriage
welcome.
needs to learn the policy of forgiveness.
Mm.
And any man also needs to enlarge his heart.
Mm.
Because there is going to be a series of errors in marriage.
Tell me about it.
Yeah. So forgiveness is the key to championing marriage and overcoming the challenges.
True.
So
You see
husband
why
will
women are
definitely
better at
wrong his wife,
multitasking.
the wife.
I'm trying to I can
Yeah.
see you're shaking the strainer and you're trying to do something else, but you're not talking. You see? But well done.
Yeah, I'm not. You can say that again. You
Yeah.
know, these days, many people thank God for counseling, you know, and thank God for those who are upholding the institution of marriage, who are also helping to raise better homes.
Yeah.
You understand? Through a lot of programs they are running wherever they might be.
Yeah.
So all of those programs are doing a very good work.
Thank you.
You know,
Bless you.
many people, thank you. Many people in marriage should learn the rule of contentment
Janice
and
Deco, I see you.
having a growth mindset is also key in marriage.
Yeah.
Where you are at the beginning is not going to last forever.
Tell me about it.
So we need to understand this, you know. So understanding this is key and what would help us to thrive in marriage.
Okay.
Thank God for the churches, for the counseling department, and those who are doing a lot of work.
Yes.
Thank God for the people like FunmiRoyals today, who is
Yay.
also
Let
who
me
is
clap. Let
also
me
doing
clap
a
for
little.
myself. Don't mind me.
There is no perfect home. There is no perfect human.
Oh. Mm-mm.
The most important thing is we should learn to understand the fact that we submit to one another. What I did yesterday is wrong. I'm sorry. A man can never be too big in his home.
Yeah.
The home actually is the safest place for the man to humble himself. You know, we should learn the act of humility.
Mm. Gosh, I see you. Okay, Adegbenga, because of time, maybe I'll come back to you so that we can give other people time to talk as well. Yeah? Is that okay?
That's
Thank you for
please.
your submission so far.
Thank you.
Thank you so much. I really appreciate that. I'm going to come to admission because I can see you've been engaging whilst I was giving the talk. So the floor is yours now. Let's hear all those, statements bubbling on the inside of you. Please share with us. Let us hear you. Okay, Leslie is back. Admissions, are you there?
Evening, oh.
Welcome back, Oga Leslie.
I'm on
I
the
would
move.
listen.
I'm on the
Thank
move.
you.
Yeah.
Okay, I'll come back to you, I guess. Yes, welcome back. That was a quick one, Leslie. So no worries. I'll still come back to you anyways. Yeah?
No problem, no problem. Thank
Thank
you.
you. A13, I see you. Good evening to you. Elder Debbie, you're next in my box. I'm just going accordingly. So I okay, you're on the move. Admission. Okay, I get you. Thank you. I'll still come back to you though. So when you're not on the move again, then you can talk. Let me know so that we can let you speak. Debbie, good evening. Oh, everybody. Oh my God, I nearly lost that or forgot that. Happy May, happy month of May to every one of you. Those listening, those in the box. Happy May. I pray this month will be a fulfilling month, a month of happiness, joy, a month of favor, divine favor. Everyone in the name of Jesus. Thank you so much. Nearly forgot that. So, Elder Debbie, let's hear you. Thank you, admissions. Let's hear you. What say you? Whether you're in it or you're not in it, this topic now is called marriage. What comes to your mind? Do people still value marriage in this 21st century? What is your take? Let's talk about it and other bits that may come to mind. Yes, thank you, Leslie. Happy New Month.
Good evening, my lady. Good evening,
Good
everyone.
evening, Elder. I throw a salute. Oh.
I the great. I hear. Elder Leslie, I see you. Happy New Month.
Yeah, same to you.
Okay, you said the topic is marriage.
Yes.
The thing
Any,
is,
anything,
everything
everything
that
that
we're
comes to
talking, I
mind.
don't know why how we reach my turn so quickly. Eh? Okay. What do you want me to answer?
All of it. You missed my talk, Abby.
I just got in.
Yay. Okay, so the question, like I said, the question can help anyone can answer the question whether you heard my talk or not, because I went into all aspects of marriage, the challenges, the goodness of it, the all of, let me even see the headings, the what is it called? The marriage in our society today, I mentioned briefly, then the role of husband and wife as opposed to what the society is saying it to be. We're supposed to be partners. Nobody is subject to anybody. We are partners working together. However, everybody's roles are different. But my Bible says we should submit one to another, yeah, in the fear of God. All of those things we talked about. We talked about importance of growing together in a marriage as well. I mean, we talked about the challenges, like I said, they will face in it. And we talked about faith, forgiveness, shared values, effective communication, commitment, love. Those are the key pillars of a strong marriage. I talked about that. So after my talk, anyways, the question now is, do you think people still value marriage in this 21st century? Do you think so? So you can start with that or whatever comes to mind when you talk about marriage. Are you excited? Are you afraid? Are you mixed feelings or whatever it is? Please share with us.
Okay.
Yeah.
Starting from the question,
Yeah.
I believe people still value marriage.
Okay.
People still value it might not be as much as it used to be.
Ah,
People still
Okay.
value marriage. People still value
All right.
marriage.
There you go.
The only problem when it comes to marriage is the assignments you do as individual before you meet the person.
Yeah.
Did you do your assignment well? You
Mm.
want a good husband? Are you planning to be a good wife? What are you
Question.
doing towards it?
Mm.
You want to be a president's wife? Are you studying to know what kind of life, how you can be, how you can fall in pattern with that?
Yeah.
What are you doing towards it? So, and what is it called? I think the problem with a lot of people is when it comes to our normal life, our education and everything, we
Mm.
take it so seriously
Okay.
that we invest, we study, we do all the exams and all that and all that.
Hmm.
But when it comes to marriage, we take it so lightly, like it's not important. But this same marriage can actually, in one way or the other, affect that life you
Yeah.
have built if care is not taken. Now, another thing is when it comes to work, when we go to work,
Mm.
we sign terms and condition, we sign contracts and everything. But in
Yeah.
marriage, there are unwritten terms and conditions.
What do you mean unwritten? The Bible has written a lot.
No, no, no. The Bible has written how we're supposed to live it, but you forget that we are dealing with human being. Even God that created us sef, he have problem after he finish creating us. What are you talking about?
How much more? Yeah.
There are unwritten terms and conditions. What do I mean by that? Is you meet somebody while you are dating, you go to you visit his house or something. When you got there, he left you to make all the decision. They didn't even prepare water for you to drink or something. That is already clear to you that if you marry that person all through your life and all through your life,
Ah.
you are on your own.
Isn't that an assumption?
No, 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 no. As a man thinketh, so he is.
Oh,
That is a
okay.
starter pack of the
I
sickness.
rest my case. Hmm.
That is a starter pack. What I'm saying is, if they start treating you in a certain way, and you might not be able to manage this thing when you finish growing, it's better you balance it from the beginning or you exit. But the problem with a lot of people is we always say, don't worry, I'll pray for him. He will change. The Holy Spirit will touch her. She will change. Those are the unwritten terms and conditions. And when you now get there, you have accepted that behavior before you enter. You are now expecting the person to change. Why will you change the contract? Why will you change your terms and conditions when you've already signed it?
Good question.
Does that not make you a mediocre? Does that not make you an hypocrite? So I think when the thing is, we don't study human being. We all just believe, because me, I'm a good person, every other person is a good person. Because I'm hardworking, every other person is hardworking. Because I'm this, every other person should be this. No,
No.
it's not supposed to be like that. Even the Bible said, test all spirits.
Yep.
Test all spirits. You are supposed to test all spirits. Find out, ask questions, do your assignments. That way, it won't be a problem in the future. The reason why a lot of marriages have problems, the reason why a lot of people have issue with marriage or getting married now is because there is lots of issue. This one they marry today, they are breaking up, and all that. It's just because from the beginning the loophole was there
Yeah.
that we overlook. The loophole was there that you overlook, you decide, and that means you are I don't want to say what I wanted to say. Hey,
Okay. If it's not a healthy say,
it
don't
is healthy, it's just that it might sound somehow.
say it then. We keep it simple and real.
That means in a way you are irresponsible to the life God gave you.
Okay.
That's the simplest way I can say it, because the one I really want to say, go, 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 go. The Holy Spirit said I should not say it.
Okay. So let's be cautious.
Yeah, that's why they gave me to, they said I should say it the way I said it.
Maybe they will beat you.
Okay. Good evening, Adasa. I can hear you.
Do you understand? That means you are not responsible for the life God gave you. You are supposed to be in charge of that life. And before you now bring children, you are supposed to be in charge of those children's life before they become an adult. Now you have put yourself in the basket of danger. You now had the children, the innocent children, to it.
Yes, yeah.
You are a bad manager of your life, of your time, of your emotions, of the gift of God in you. As human,
Yeah.
you are supposed to find out. See, what is it called? If I call my sister now that, I meet a boy, especially if he's Nigerian, I meet a boy. He say he likes me, want to marry me. My sister won't ask me question as much as my brother-in-law and my brother. You will hear, where is he from? What's the name of his state? Who are his parents? I'm telling you, once I'm able to get the information and send to them, they are traveling to their village. Yeah.
Now, so
Yeah.
seriously.
And it's not just me, both Adasa, both our, they will
My dad.
Adasa's dad will travel to Igbo land to go and find out about the guy that was talking to Adasa.
Hey.
Yes. Just in case they have kwashoko in their family.
God, I beg.
But do people still do that these days?
So they still do it in my own house.
Hey, okay. It's good to know, yeah.
They still do it in my own house.
Wow.
It's not because what is it called? They are overdoing it. It's just because at the end of the day, you won't say you didn't do your assignments. I always have a slogan, and it was another that I said I should not be saying it out again. If I ask you all the question, I asked all the question I asked you, and for some reason you lied to me, I now received the ring. Even at the altar, if I found out the truth, I will offload your ring and go. Because that means the foundation of that marriage is already ruined. I can never trust you.
Wow. Thank you, 13.
Do you understand? So the problem a lot of people have is doing their assignments and trusting God
For the wait.
to wait. See, this doing the assignment I'm saying is not as easy as it sounds.
Of course.
Because while you are doing your assignments, they will abandon you. See, Adasa was talking to a guy. He was a doctor, A&E doctor. Adasa went one day to A&E to go and sit down there, just to see how they operate, how his life is, she didn't go to see him. It's just to see
how is working,
Yeah,
or
how
how
it's
is
working.
behaving, treating people, yeah.
how can you tend to that person. Do you understand? It's not because is she too it. In fact, it might seem like it's too much. It's not too much. It's just that at the end of the day, you know what you are dealing with. He was able to learn, okay, what course does he need to do? How long will I be singly married while he's running his life to balance? It's true. There are some professions, once you marry them, for the first 5-10 years, you are singly married. Until they finish the height of the course,
Yeah.
and they are settled. That's when, if you really want them to succeed, if you really want the person, that's why I said, if you know you are not ready and you cannot, God's will is very hard to follow. God's time is very hard to follow, but it's the best that could ever happen to any human being.
Yeah.
I always ask questions, and for every question I ask, and the person don't want anything to do with me. Once I ask 1 or 2 questions, they will block me. They will block me. It's not because of anything. In fact, it got to say, I was asking myself, is it a spiritual problem that they are blocking me? But I realized that it's just because as I'm asking you this question, I'm also asking myself the same question.
Yeah.
So the problem with the problem is not marriage itself. The problem is people. It's
Oh,
not the institution.
no.
It's the people.
Yeah.
It's the people that are taking marriage. Marriage is not, if your career is if you are not taking it lightly, you shouldn't take marriage lightly. If you take your career as important, then marriage should be taken times 2 important, because that marriage
Some
can,
people, they might have to resit a whole year twice so that they can graduate.
yes,
But
and
they don't prepare that much for the
and they'll be
marriage.
patient to go through it.
Yeah.
But when it comes to marriage, you meet the person, you just ask, what is your name?
I fell in love.
How old are you? Oh, he's tall. She's bossy.
Six pack.
She have cough.
Bum,
She have bum. And you fell in love. You now fell with your. My lady, this topic you brought today, I don't know why, because it's a lot.
Exactly what we're talking
Really
about.
a lot. If we have to go to every aspect of it, it's a lot. You see some marriages, they are fine. They are acting fine, no. They are acting fine. Once children come, they separate. They start living like strangers.
They don't know how to transition into that new
No.
space.
And now, when the children now grow and leave the house, they can't come back again. Now, what about the ones that God didn't give children? I always ask a question. I always ask anybody I meet, oh, what if God choose not to give me? What will you do? Because I can be all LD, do everything, and God decide that He wants to use my life for glory. That part, He just want to keep me waiting for as long as He wants. There's nothing I can do about it. But have you thought about it?
Yeah.
You will hear them say, what do you mean by that? What have you done with your womb? Hello, uncle. That's not the question. The question is, if you are dealing with God, you should actually be ready for anything that could come your way. I've met somebody that said, oh, the reason he wants to marry me is because I was in my early 30s then, or something. He said it's because I'm still young and I am fertile. I like,
Just for that reason alone.
yeah. Yes, that's the reason he wants to marry me. So it's because I asked question though. That's how I was able to know. If I didn't ask question, I would have seen somebody being nice to me and everything, and I will put my future in the wrapping paper, wrap it, put it in a nice box, and give it for free. And God in heaven will look at me and shake his head like, this is the girl I sent my son to go and die for.
Wow.
I think as human, we are the one. It's not the institution of marriage.
No.
It's human being. As a man, are you ready to be the priest of your home?
Yeah.
Some men cannot even pray 5 minutes. So I think God will help us.
Amen. Amen.
I'll rest my case here.
Thank you. Like I say, if we had a whole day to talk about marriage, it will never. In fact, we can't even cover 1/4 of it because it's broad. There's so many aspects. But one thing that I like so much out of all the things you said quite a number of things, Debbie, is that it is not that marriage institution. It is we gone inside that marriage institution, what we're doing with it or what we're doing to it and doing to each other. Because, I mean, if God wanted divorce, I don't think he would have created marriage. He would have just created friendship. You can be friends. If you don't want to be friends anymore, go your way. But he wanted to also understand the deeper meaning of love that is sacrificial, that is understanding. This is how God is. We offend God and we go back and cry, hey, Father, forgive me, this and that. And he still wraps his arms around us. He wants us to do same to our spouses. whether they do wrong, whether they do right, but you and I know we're flesh and blood. It is hard. It is hard. And to the point that some will say, I can't do this anymore, go your way. It's not all people who end up getting divorced that is domestic violence. So the one we've been talking about this day that nobody still can explain to me irreconcilable differences. As if I've not found somebody that will explain that to me. And people are divorcing en masse because of this reason. Lord have mercy. Thank you, Debbie, for your contribution. TJ dropped. Minister Sarah, I'm coming to you before I go to Leslie tonight. How are you? Happy Thursday. Happy month of May as well. Minister Sarah, you're welcome. I hope you're good.
Yes. Can you hear me?
Yes, loud and clear.
Thank you. Happy May to you as well. This is the month when I get ready for graduation with my class. So school is getting ready for close. Yes, all the goodies are coming forth in this month. Blessings and favor and freedom.
Congratulations. Yay. Wow. Where's my wow? Congratulations.
Thank God. I have Mother's Day, Teachers Appreciation, and the children graduating.
Oh, wow. That's a lot.
Yes.
Month of celebration for you.
Yes, thank you so much.
You're welcome.
But on the topic of marriage, I like to backtrack before marriage. Date right, and you will marry right, and we need to see the stop signs. And if we find someone that we want to settle down with, I think that we should not feel afraid to let them know. But at the end, if there are stop signs or doubts and fears and all of that,
Red flags.
I strongly suggest to just don't even step into it, because I've seen too many relationships. That's why I said when Debbie was saying people get married and then they keep trying it over and over and over again, and I'm like, okay, why is it that some people get married and they stay together for years and they seem happier as the years go by, and then there are some people that get married, like she said, and it's like they're strangers, but they don't want to depart. And then there are people that cheat on each other and they keep breaking up, making up, breaking up, making up.
Oh,
and then
God.
exactly. And then you have some
So
that,
draining.
yes, like you said, that there isn't anything that you could really pinpoint why these people can be together. But there's always an issue arising that like you say, they go and they get divorced after a long time and say, something we can't even really put a needle to it. All I know is that he frustrates me, she frustrates me. I can't. We're always batting heads. We don't agree, and I think we need to part ties. And you're like, you don't think you could salvage this? No,
Or we've grown apart. We
Exactly.
don't share
Really
values
hard.
anymore.
Some people are having it worse than you. Oh, she gained a few pounds and I'm not attracted anymore. Oh, he lost a few pounds and it's like, some people are dealing with worse. But like you say, that's a topic for another day.
Minister Sarah, sorry to cut you. Let me make you laugh. And this is a real story. This woman, after I think, was it 12, 13 years, she went to the family to say she wants to divorce the husband. And everybody was scared, like, because they know how they're together. And then they had a family meeting. Hey, they asked, what did he do to you that you want to divorce him? He said, my husband refused to grow a pot belly.
This is real.
Honestly, they said they thought she was cuckoo or she's gone crazy. She meant, he said, evidence of good living. That's the title of that story.
But
He said
that
no, that he doesn't know. The only reason she will not divorce is if this man grows a pot belly.
I know,
And
right?
people were, I'm telling you, it's crazy. The demands of some people. Yeah, you can carry on just to chip that thing.
Yes, I know how you feel because I had a friend that was similar, except that both of them were competitive. So they both started in school. So, both of them were thin then. Then she had four kids for him, and she started to plump up. So he started to tell her, so I'm not really like liking this size, let's go and exercise. Well, obviously men tend to slim down faster than women. So the more she slimmed down, the more he keep on telling her she's not slimming down. So she went and she got like the little cut, stitch, tuck, and all of that.
Oh.
So when she got all of that done, she was looking super fine. So the problem now for him, with her, is that okay, you don't
Fine.
have the right curves anymore because now she went and did her surgery and she is all like y'all battling foolishness, and it's like it was they separated basically only on the fact that hey, they had a battle within them on who looked better than the next. And I was like, that seems so crazy. And then the thing is, they divorced, right? She remarried. And when I looked at the person who she married, I was like, anyway, let me close my eyes and walk backwards because
A replica
you know,
of the former husband.
right. I would say he was better. I mean, and yeah, you were saying this, that, and the next thing, but let's just say you was rowing him because he was 180, but you went and married somebody who 400 pounds. I just didn't get it. But
To
anyway,
make her feel good, I guess.
yes, I guess she was like he really made her feel, and then I think too, like she said, because we were like friends and stuff like that. She said, Sarah, why I really chose him is because with my ex, I chose him based on I loved him and I was attracted to him, and he loved me and he was attracted to me, but that couldn't keep us. And so when that divorce came, that crushed me so much because I did all this alteration and it still didn't work. That when I met my future husband, I said to myself, this man loves me no matter whether I gain or whether I lose. He will still love me, and that is the truth. He is like crazy over her. He would love me if I go bedridden or whatever. And so I put all the outward appearance away from me. And I said, sometimes I'm going to deal with somebody that's loving me from the heart. And that's why she got remarried. Now, her ex husband, up to the day, he is still not remarried because he is playing the field with every woman he can get his hands on. So
That's no way to live life, but yeah, you know what? We
yeah.
don't know, but it's all good.
It's all good, yes. But back to the topic again. Marriage to me is like you said, it's very complex, but really, I think it's just two persons who come together with a legal bond, and they can connect socially, culturally. They have
We have to be, for the sake of God's um, intention for marriage, we have to be specific if we're going to say it, not just two persons because
yeah.
of the world
Okay.
today. You get
Yes.
it?
Right.
Thank
So
you.
when couples get together, they have to have all of those dynamics together, making sure that the relationship is solid. Everybody knows what their obligations are. Everybody knows what their roles are. Yes, love is the final topping on the cake, but like I said, making sure that everybody knows exactly what is expected of them, and yes, that cultural and spiritual aspect, that and social aspect needs to be intact, because if one is a socialite and one is passive or shy away from crowd, that could be a little conflict, but not that much. And then if there is a difference in cultural beliefs, one may be saying the man takes care of the wife, the other one may be saying no, the woman takes care of the man, or I'm just saying something similar.
Of
It
course,
can
these
cause.
are things they need to find out when they're courting, so it doesn't become a problem in the marriage.
But do you know that that happens? And I've heard a lot of persons
Yeah.
say that after marriage, things change.
Mm-hmm.
And I mean, I experienced that in my divorce, that, my husband was a Christian when we first got together. But by the time he left me, he had already backslidden. And I was praying for him and everything, but it still didn't work out because once he cheated and decided that he wanted to be with the other woman, is nothing that I could have done to change his mind. And even years later, now that he and that lady is not together, I still can't change his mind because he has already drawn that line. Those men would say ever forward, never backward, but they ain't going forward in their lives. But yeah, that's how it is. And even with relationships, I have found out with the persons that I've been dating that marriage these days are somewhat, I don't know if I should say scary for people, but people aren't really getting into marriage. They are hooking up. If they're not hooking up, they want long term girlfriends or fiancés. Like
It's
they'll put a
partnership,
name tag to you. Yes,
nothing,
they want
nothing binding as such.
no, yes, they just want to have you there, and they'll even go as far as saying, I'm gonna be engaged to you." And when you look, you're engaged for 4 years, 5 years, 6 years, and you're like, "So when are you gonna make it?" "Oh, I have to do this, and I'm not sure about this." And "Oh, you think you could submit to me? You think you could?" Like, it's so many different excuses. Back in the day, woman meets man, man meets a woman. They decide that, hey, I want to be with you based on the few dates and the chats that they have. They bring you home to their family, and bam, the icing is on the cake. The family start expecting any day soon now. They will put, the ring on it, and they will be Mr. and Mrs. But now it's like, okay, I introduce you, you introduce me to your family. We have been courting for so long. We're building up these businesses together, or whatever it is you're trying to do together. And then it's like, it's no one is going anywhere. You're just stuck in limbo.
Lord help us, really. As you're talking, I don't know, I just drifted away a bit. I remember this story my husband told me of this couple. They were cohabiting, they didn't get married, and they have 3 children or so. So all of their friends were legally married. So when they go for outings, they're just the only two that are cohabiting. And every time their friends would tease them, when are you going to put a ring on it? When are you going to? They're like, oh, we're fine the way we are, da da da, and all of that. So I think the pressure eventually got to them. After cohabiting for about 7, 8 years, and they were okay, enjoying their partnership or whatever, they now decide to put a ring on it. And they did. Guess what? 3 months down, they divorced.
I've seen that as well. Yes. I don't know why. I don't get it. I think for me,
Yeah.
with my last relationship, I was afraid of that happening because as friends and girlfriend and boyfriend, or my fiance or whatever, it seemed like there was so many little um red flags, I should say, and I
Little.
wanted to look past it
Oh,
because
okay.
there
I was gonna
were good green flags that were saying, "Go for this girl, Sarah." But then I kept on saying to myself, and then with him, he was like that way too, because a lot of persons was like, "Why y'all in this for so long?" Because I had to pray literally um that God help us, because this is how the relationship was going. When everything was good on my end, and I was saying, "Fly, Sarah," he was like, I don't, you need to do this. You're not doing this, blah, blah, blah. And then when he is like, I want to do it right now, I'm like, no way.
Wow.
You need to get this right. You need to get. So it was like we were imbalanced. We weren't reaching at a point where both of us, and if we
On the
reached
same
a
page.
point, right, where both of us feel like, let's do it this man, let's just do it tomorrow, man. It's like both of us start thinking in our minds. I don't know if it's because both of us were with divorce. um, we will start telling each other, but if we do that tomorrow, you think it can last? Like, I mean, you know how I go, right? And then he'll say, well, you know how I go, right? And we just go through that scenario, like, you
Wow.
know me, and I know you. Is I don't know. We just was talking about that sometime last week and even this week.
Beautiful
And he is
stuff.
like, do you think that we could make it? I'm like, I don't know. It takes both of us trying to work towards it. But if you're saying that, hey, when I speak my truth, I'm overriding you, and you feel uncomfortable in being the man, I can't help you, because at the end of the day, you are a man to me.
Mhm.
You understand? But you cannot make me a servant. I have to have a voice, because you have children that are not my children, that I'm
Mhm.
gonna have to be their mom, stepmom. So I have to have a voice. My children need my voice when it comes to you as being their stepfather. Because
Mhm.
at the end of the day, with blended families, you're gonna have to know how to navigate with a
Wow.
family that was
To be
solely run by
challenging.
me. Exactly. And I'm gonna now how to have to know how to navigate a family that was solely run by you. And
Mm.
so it isn't like, okay, we coming together as two fresh individuals. I don't have any children. You don't have any children, and we're gonna get together to have a family.
Yeah.
So the dynamics are different. So,
Mhm.
you can't come and say, okay, well, I met this virgin, even though you knew me from I was a teenager. When I was, you should have married me then. So but
Yeah.
I'm not her anymore. So now that I've been married and I have children with my ex husband, how is that dynamic with my ex and his children? How is that dynamic with me and my children? And how are they going to relate to you? You
Mhm.
was married before to two different women. So I have those two ladies to deal with. Plus, I have those children. Plus, you have children with other women that you were not married to. So you cannot expect me to come in as a virgin and just be submissive. I mean, if I say sit, sit. If I say stand, stand. That's not going to work. I mean, being realistic, it's not going to work.
I see you.
Yes, I'm gonna have to step up to the plate, because those ladies are going to challenge me, whether they are your wives or not, because they were there before and that's their children. So
Mhm.
I can't be as passive as you want me to be, but I have to be respectful.
Mhm.
Number two, I can't override you when you try to tell me how to deal with my children, but you have to understand that their father is still alive,
Yeah.
and you can't go over him. So, it's funny. So, like, that's, I think, was the barrier between us moving forward. And I think for so many relationships, I think that that's it. If not that, then it always is the same sex agenda, where somebody maybe came out of a relationship because they preferred the other person. Because I know a person that was married to a lady that was of that same thing. And so when they got together, it was hard for her to really stay committed to him, because she would shy off from intimacy. You're married now to a man. How could you be thinking about other things that does not pertain to a marriage? And so that's something that broke down that relationship. So, it's just so many levels of
So,
marriage that.
Minister Sarah, thank you for what you said so far. Sorry to cut again. So, do you think people still value marriage in this 21st century?
For the most part, I would say valuing it biblically, no. because just like the dynamic, what I told you,
Yeah.
with all these different marriages happening nowadays, and then the breakdown in the unit of being married to one spouse for the rest of your life, because that's the marriage vow,
It
right? I
seems like a
Right,
goal that
people
cannot be
are getting
achieved. Yeah.
divorced and remarrying and divorce and remarrying. I cannot do it. If I get married a second time, trust me, for me, that's forever. And if I can't stay with you forever, I might as well stay single, because I cannot do the, okay, I was married to Sam, then me and Sam didn't work, so now I'm going to marry
Oh
Boa.
my goodness.
And now it, but that's what's going
We
on.
know. That's why
And
I
so
said we
when
have
you ask
broken
that question,
society.
my answer is no, for the most part. Not totally, but for the most part, no. No.
That's why we have a
How can
broken
two same
society.
people
Yeah.
come together? Yes, I just don't get it, So yeah, for the most part, no. I don't think they
And
value marriage biblically. I just was on a live last night, and the men didn't get allow me to speak my say, but most of them, and they were of African descent, they were saying that the most thing with the African women, are they becoming too modernized, like they're Western. I think they were saying they were
oh,
turning to the Western style, because what they want is for their women to be totally under their leadership, and without that, the family would not function properly. But you have to give and take now, that women are not like back in the day, when the mothers really relied solely on the man
they
for
mothered,
everything.
like,
Yes.
no.
So that she cannot go out of the house, because the house is the man's house. Where is she gonna go? The mommy and daddy ain't accept you back, because you are that man's property.
Yeah.
Number two, you don't have no way of taking care of yourself. But nowadays, you can't tell a woman who has already gotten a college degree, excuse me, you have to exude my authority. I say, stay inside this house and mind these babies. You mustn't wear no shoes. Tie your hair every day. Who do you think you're talking
Or
to?
tie the wrapper thingy. Oh my god.
Not that they want to be disrespectful, but two hands are more better than one, because, like Elder Debbie
Oh, somebody
said,
said two
if two
progressive
are
admissions. What do you mean?
if two are working together, look at how many things I have accomplished after my husband left. And I'm sure if he didn't leave and we had both worked together, I would have even more than what I have now. But I think that a lot of men feel intimidated and challenged
Yeah.
when the woman can bring to the table either just as much or more than what you're bringing. And sometimes I would say some women, because I'm a woman too, will sometimes feel as though, hey, if I'm bringing in the most and you're not bringing anything, because I had dated a guy before, and he made less than me, but his whole attitude was lazy. And I was like, I can't even continue this relationship, because if you're like this in the relationship phase of it, then what am I going to get married to? I don't care how much time you tell me you want to marry me. You know why you want to marry me? Because you see a woman that is a go-getter, and I'm not going to go get for you. No, we gotta go get. You laughing? We gotta go get this thing together.
Oh my god, you make me laugh.
Exactly. The energy gotta be the same for me. It gotta be the. You don't agree?
No,
It
no,
has to
no.
be the same.
As in, if the energy is not the same, then you're in trouble.
Exactly. So you want to lay down and drink all day. When I go there and I push, I go and taking up courses. I'm going away. I'm doing this. I'm doing the next thing. All you want to do is just say, okay. And then at the end of the day, let's just say you giving me $5, but I already making $25. So how do I help? Anyway, y'all finish it.
I get you, yeah. Wow. Thank you. So yeah, there really is in the society today so many dynamics to this marriage thing we're talking about. And that's why we're talking about it. So we go back to the basics, as in how God planned marriage to be. And thank God we even have a manual, which some of us are not even, referring to, because everybody wants to just logically reason things out, and it doesn't always work that way. Thank God there's a manual, whether we follow or not, there's a manual at least to guide us in how to be in this institution. Who was saying it? I think somebody was saying earlier, if you had to go and study to become a professional or whatever it is, you might have to redo some exams, do this, do that. I remember the pastor, it was when Debbie was talking, I remember that the pastor said, we'll be chasing this couple to come for premarital counseling, and they'll be forming too busy. And then even some churches will refuse to wed them, but they can go to court or registry, or they go to another church or whatever and get married. They will not come back to the church. Give them 2 months, they're chasing pastor. Come and talk to my husband, oh, come and talk to my wife, oh. And the pastor will be like, who do you want to kill? When we were chasing you for the counseling session, did you bulge? No. Now there's fire on the mountain, you're chasing pastor to come and talk to somebody. The pastor said, no, there is no free space to do counseling. Whoever married you should go and do the counseling with you. You find out that there's a whole lot that the society, and when we say society, it's you and I. We form the society. So some people, you know that they say bad news spreads faster and all of that. All the negatives of marriage is what is trending out there, and we all can see it's not promoting marriage at all. In fact, some people are still enduring, trying to find a way to coping, trying to find a way to better that marriage, and they go on social media or the society, and the society, if he's not doing this, if she's not doing this, leave her, leave him, divorce. They'll just find courage. Maybe I should leave this person. And you find out that such negativity is what is influencing people making those decisions. And it's so dangerous. That's why I say you see broken people in the society trying to make a family, a broken family. They pass it on to the next. Now, this generation coming after us is like they're not even interested. Because when they look back, all they see is rubbish. All they see mostly is nonsense. And they're like, you want more to be part of this nonsense? I don't think so. And I was listening to a program. I'm coming to the next person, Leslie, then I'll come to you, Evangelist. I was listening to this kind of like, not really debate, but like a group discussion thing. And this woman stood up to boldly ask question. It has to do with relationships and stuff. So I have just taken another woman's husband, something like that. I didn't hear the question because they jumped into the answer, but the woman answering tried to say what the question was. It's like this woman stood up to ask, I've just taken another woman's husband, and she needs to understand that he's with me now, even though they're not divorced and all. The person answering, part of the panelists, gave it to her. She was like, you need to go back to God and ask for forgiveness. You need to go back to that woman and ask her to forgive you. Did God put you as a third wheel in that? She went on, and I'm like, and people don't see anything wrong in anything anymore. So where do we draw the line? What is a marriage in this 21st century? Because it sounds to me like they've kind of deviated from God's marriage institution, and they've created all sorts, and it's like they've created a monster marriage out there, and it's not working. It's not working as such. So maybe we should go back to the drawing board, bring out the Bible. How did God plan this institution to be? What are the rules to guide us in it? Because I've tried the societal way, it hasn't worked. It hasn't worked. I'm now single. I'm miserable. I'm this and that. Then we need to go back to the basics. But it's like the truth is bitter. Nobody wants to hear it. God will help us. Leslie, I'm going to come to you. I don't know what your take is on this topic. It's broad, it's big. Please, we want to hear you. Good evening.
Good evening, or good evening to the panel.
Good evening.
I've heard a lot of good things. I've actually enjoyed the discussion a lot.
Thank you.
And again, marriage is a very broad topic. It's
Yeah.
a
Oh, yeah.
um, but I think Debbie has hit the nail on the head that it is not marriage is not the problem, it's the individuals.
Yes. Oh, yeah.
And the truth is that it's what people are willing to invest into marriage that will make it work for them.
Yeah.
What are they willing to deposit? What are they willing to put the time and effort into? And I think that's why marriage is very interesting in that even if you are rich, you have lots of money. If you don't invest time and effort into marriage, it's not going to work.
Get
And
it.
I believe that God did it in such a way that because He's our creator, God values our intimacy with Him. It's a premium to God. The Bible says that God is seeking those who will worship Him in spirit and in truth. He's not seeking those who will give Him the most money. That's not. He told the children of Israel that if he's hungry, he won't even tell them. And they cut the thousand hills that he. So silver, gold, they don't impress God. He owns all of those things. So we can't in our human effort think that. But what God loves is that we love Him, that we really value Him,
Yeah.
that He's worthy in our lives. We make that effort to show that He means a lot to us.
Thank you,
And
Apex.
that's by the time we spend. And I think that's what makes marriage unique is the time and effort you put into it.
Yeah.
So you can, if you think that by throwing money into marriage and don't put any time, don't put any effort, it's not going to really work. People might stay because maybe it's convenient, but they're not going to enjoy the marriage because there's no expectation of anything other than that. People are just coasting. There's no intimacy in that marriage, and if there's no intimacy in marriage, then you're just roommates, really. Because
Yeah.
that's what as you
Or they
rightfully
are
said.
just cohabiting.
Yeah, you're just what makes marriage is that we are invested in each other, and we're learning stuff. And I know. I'm always laughing when I hear men say, "Oh, my wife gained some weight," and I'm thinking, stop being silly. We are men.
You
We are of
think
the earth.
it's being silly? They
Stop.
mean it. They mean it.
Yeah, they are being silly. They are being very silly because one is we could be claiming to be logical. So if we actually think logically, this is somebody who has had a child for you. That's going to change our body. If
Ah.
you were to go through the same process,
It
what would
was
you
the
think?
hourglass they married, though. They didn't ask for
I know.
anything
I know
else.
the hourglass can come back, and the fact of the matter is that the same men, the same men who are saying this thing, let them go and marry model. They will still, if they're something about faithfulness. Faithfulness has got nothing to do with the other person. Faithfulness is more of an internal decision of a person. It's a
Yeah.
reflection of a person. So when people, it's more like an excuse. If a person is committed to the person they're married to, then it's not really going to be a deal breaker because people weight can change. There's things you can do. It's not the end of the world. Things can be done that
Oh,
they
admission
can
said
work.
not one, not two children. Some of us have four. Imagine having
Yeah,
four cesarean.
yeah, just the
Four
word.
cesarean.
Yeah. So to me, and again, these same men who are saying this, lead them for a bit now. They would, the same men are the ones who would do anything. Let me not even go there because I've had encounter with some guys. I've had encounter with some guys, and it was all about that. Then when you hear them talk about certain things that they want to do in the bedroom, and I'm thinking, and you have a problem with that, really? All right, we're not going to go there. But
Fine.
it's there's a lot of pretentious behavior, and also this even women, our bodies are also changing too.
Of
We're not staying the
course.
same. So let's not kid ourselves. We're not staying the same. A marriage is not just about the external. Yeah, we put a great emphasis
Not
on it.
from before.
But as you get older and longer into it, I can tell you that you will start actually appreciating that somebody actually cares for you, that somebody actually there for you, and that somebody actually values you. So it depends on where people are at, how they're growing up in their marriage. I mean, some people can remain immature for a very long time, and it's probably something very severe or drastic that might force them. They might not change, but they will actually have the realization that their marriage is not just the physical things that they've once valued so much. You know, it's more than that. There's a Hollywood actor. I don't want to mention their name,
That's
and a
all.
lot of people, a lot of people were like, when his first wife passed away, he married a second wife, and I kind of knew he has quite a strong value of marriage because I remember watching an interview he did, and then I think after I think whether she had twins for him, she just just grew in weight, and people were like, "Oh, you should leave her, and he was like, "Why should I leave her because she gained weight?" And he actually made it a thing to publicly have pictures of her taken with him as a Hollywood. He's a Hollywood A-lister, and it was just not what they could comprehend. But obviously, he understands something that most people don't get. They just don't get that. My marriage to this person is going to do whether it's not about whether I'm married to this person. Their weight gain or not gain is not the issue.
At
You
all.
know, and there's to
Back.
today there's no scandal of him, no extramarital affair, none of that. It's very rare, and people were like, "Wow, this is not necessarily what they hear of." And then you hear the Hollywood actors who are into all of those things, and yet they're divorced,
And some have been married
multiple affairs,
7 times
multiple yes,
in
multiple
one
affairs.
long time.
Yeah, I know of them who have been married to models and they're divorcing the model. So if it was really that, then why are they divorcing the models
The
who didn't even
perfect
have a child for them? So
hourglass woman.
it's not really that. It's not. There's a lot more to it than what they want to say. And the truth of the matter is that the older we get as men, especially, we also have to mature in our mental state of how we are seeing things as well. And I'm glad I've met a few men who are that. I remember there was one particular one where I used to work a few years back, maybe about 3 years ago now, before I joined the organization. And this, I think the guy, he was about 88 then,
Yeah.
and he cared for his wife for 18 years. She was ill. I can't remember what she had, but she was ill to the point where she was bedridden. And they were married for about 50 something years. And he cared for her for 18 years. And then she passed away. And you would think that he would be like, thank God she's gone now, no more. This guy was besotted, was bereaved, like, his life had ended.
And
And
imagine.
people were like, but you care for her for it. She said, yeah, but she was my wife. She heard me, she listened to me, even though she couldn't respond, but I was happy. And now she's gone. I don't know what to do myself. And it shocked me, like, wow. So there are men like this that
Very
they
rare.
actually, that they actually love their wife, even in sickness. And that, that's what makes marriage uniquely different. It has all these external, it's really a reflection on that person, because even the person that's saying those things, they're going to go through their own changes,
Look
whether
at
they
look
like
at
it or
what
not.
Vincent wrote. It is very misleading to continue to believe the path of colonial illusion that Nigeria is a nation. This person has come again with their political talks. I thought
So,
he meant marriage, but don't worry, it's okay.
it's crazy that
Oh, I see.
it's much, and I believe that marriage, I really believe that it's really God used that as a reflection of Himself, that He's devoted to that point, and he's not just devoted, but He actually is invested in the relationship.
Yeah.
Jesus said that the
That's
Father
how
and
it's
Him are
supposed to be,
one.
really. That's how
Yeah,
it's
and
supposed to be.
if you look at when Jesus was on the cross, the the biggest pain he had was the Father. He said, "Why has the Father forsaken me?" In that it means that he never ever had a time where the Father had forsaken him. And I believe that's a reflection of the nature of God, that once he's invested, once he's committed and he's in covenant to you,
Yeah.
he's never going to forsake you. He's never going to abandon you. So I think that a lot of people just don't understand what marriage is, even from a biblical perspective, but even just from how it has worked over the nations, over the generations, over the centuries. A whole societies have been built on the bedrock of marriage. You know, in the institution of marriage, societies have been built, empires, everything. Empires have been built and established because of who they married, who was going to marry who, you know. So it's not something that we play around with, and it's something that I really believe that and I think especially as men, and I find it very uniquely interesting when I see men that are they divorcing their wife because now they want to go and get younger mother. And I'm like, you're not any younger yourself.
Oh
Who are
my
you kidding?
God.
And the truth is that if you
Is
actually,
their future they're playing with.
yeah, if you actually go into those relationships, you will find that there's a lot of contention.
Yeah.
The media like to play this image that they're all happy, loving. No, there's a lot of there's a lot of communication gap on so many levels. So
The only
even when the physical,
communication,
there's
life,
yeah,
gap.
so many things, it's just ridiculous when I hear some of these things. Like, it's almost immature and infantile of setting when
When
these
a
guys,
50, a
you're
57
50,
year old man,
you
57
know,
year old
yeah.
man is going to marry a 22-year-old girl.
Honestly, it's ridiculous. And you just look at that. At some point in the relationship, that young girl is now the one controlling him.
Who else is
Are
controlling?
running everything going, because that's what eventually will happen. You're now, and it's almost like the man is now, it's almost like he's married someone who will care for him, basically. That's
His
what I see
old age.
sometimes. But yeah, with marriage, another thing I want to say is that,
Debbie,
there's another,
it's
our
love.
the Deborah said,
Love is the
she said something that's
beautiful
very
thing.
true.
Yeah.
If you want to marry someone who's a president, know what you're getting into. Don't just get married just because of a feeling. Do some research. If you're going to get married to somebody who you know that career is very engaging or demanding, know what you're getting into.
Yeah.
Find out.
But the
What,
truth
what
is,
is,
Leslie, there are
mm,
certain things that it's not cut and paste as such. Imagine, okay, you met this person, you like them, they like you, no red flag as such, and all of that. They
yes.
when you married them, they were in just in a particular profession. You can't even call it a career as such, but they were there, they were doing it, and then you're married now, maybe 10 years into, and they just feel there's more to their life than this job or this career or something, and they want to take it a top notch. They might have to go back to uni, or they might have to do something, and you're like, "Ah, when I met you, maybe you, in fact, they don't just want to say you're not ambitious now, what has come over you." So that means your partner is not ready to adapt to this new you that is springing up. So does that mean you just stay and be okay so that your partner will be okay? You will not do that which you feel the need to?
Yeah, the thing is that, again, like I said, marriage is it's a journey, because if you're if
Yes.
you're thinking if you're thinking in terms of, okay, this is going to be a long time, and hopefully it's till death do us part. That's the
I mean,
goal, in terms of, that's the goal, and not just to
that's not
exist to,
deception, Debbie. We don't know our tomorrow. We don't know
but
tomorrow. So we can't say
yeah,
that's deception. No.
the truth is that it's a long term thing. So you're gonna have seasons of change, whether you like it or not. There's going to be seasons of change, and I can get the career thing. It di- and that's an interesting point, because in our marriage we've had the situation where my wife has had a very strong career, and I've come from a business tech world and media, so that's our this thing. And now I'm in a season where I'm studying now, and it's quite challenging. But the fact of the matter is that she's come to the place where she recognizes that this is the season of, okay, my husband is retraining and he's studying, and I need to make time for him, because he's made time for me to do the things that I'm doing. And I don't think we recognize it's a teamwork. We understand that it's a team effort, and it's it's not something that we just jump into. We talk about it. We talk about it. We had spent time on it, and I had spent a lot of time praying about it, before embarking on it. And recognizing the challenges.
Hearing now,
But
Debbie. That's how to go
I
about
have
it.
question for Mr. Leslie.
He's
Don't come for me
answering you
already.
already.
No, no, I didn't
so
ask my question. Don't come for me. Oh. I know what I'm saying.
so yeah, but I'll have my point. The thing is that for us in the career thing, where there was a time where she was retraining as well, so she was moving from her science field to project management, and that took some time, and that took a lot of sacrifices as well.
Yeah.
Did you guys
To
discuss it?
yes, yeah, we did,
You
and
cannot be talking, Mr. Leslie. This is what I don't like about you. You talk like you put people like in your shoes. Like people are normal like you are. Everybody
no,
is
I
not
agree, I
normal.
agree, I agree. And then, David, I agree with you. Let me tell you, but I don't. We didn't get to. I always stress it. We didn't get to this place in one day.
That's
So
because the two of you are ready to work hand in hand.
yeah,
See, from
and
the
there's been some
beginning,
challenges that forced some challenges forced that to happen as well. We didn't actually choose challenges, but when the challenges came in a funny kind of way, they forged that kind of
Decision
thinking
at
that
home.
okay, oh, it's just the two of us. Yeah,
but did you
if
know
we
your
don't,
wife as a
Yes.
career person from the beginning?
yeah,
Does
yeah,
she know you as a career person from the beginning?
yes,
Okay, my
yeah.
lady, when I said she deceived him, this is what I meant.
Okay.
Um,
When the man met the woman, you say, you just like a simple life, you don't want too much, and the man is looking for somebody that just wants a simple life, does not want too much, not too ambitious, not too materialistic and everything. And bam, after 5 years, you met somebody like Debbie that like every good thing. Now,
Not
but that
necessarily
happens.
meets you. Does that
no,
mean
Your
no, it
circle of
just
that
friends
person
change.
cannot
it just
aspire to
happened.
want more for their lives?
No, my lady, the man did not marry her because she is ambitious.
Yeah,
The
I know what you're
man
saying.
married her because Mr. Leslie, do you understand what I'm trying to
I
say?
understand. I
The
understand.
man married the man married
I
her
get
because
your
she
point.
fell in alignment with what he's looking for.
Yes,
Now you are now trying to change the terms and conditions. Why?
I
That
understand
is
that.
what is called
But
marriage.
I've actually seen the opposite of that, where both of them were ambitious and both of them resented each other, like resented each other.
So you can
So,
imagine it's
so
no cut
they,
and paste.
they both had high powered careers, and yet they had high level resentment. And when I look at that situation, what I look at is that no one was willing to just be humble in the relationship. And I will start with the husband. No one was willing to just be like, "This is my wife. Let me take time out for this person." Instead, it became very competitive. Who can outdo the other? You know, if you do masters, me too, I'll do masters. If you do PhD, me too, I'll do PhD. I'm serious, like, and I'm like, really, you know, it doesn't, and it doesn't matter how much this person is bringing. They to me too, I'll bring my own. You bring 100K, me too, I'll bring 100K, and it just became to the point where the resentment just like no one's. It just became resentment gallery, you know,
And
and
I've heard,
yeah,
sorry to go to Leslie, I've heard of where this person is a professional to the core, like career building and all of that. And then they got to a place they felt, no, I'm not doing this career. And the husband really loves this career person. He's married. And now she said, no, she just wants a store, be selling designer wares or something. And the man could not wrap his head around it. So
yeah,
these things happen. We're now talking in marriage, we have to learn to adapt. As long as this
yes,
person is
And
not
that's how you like to
coming,
chip in something.
please, I know there's so many angles we would throw this
Adaja.
today,
Oh, yeah.
and it's just for people out there to hear, learn, understand. No two marriage is the same. When you were signing the contract, even if you no red flag, no whatever, everything good, you sign, okay, I love you for this, for this, for that. You don't know what 10 years is gonna bring your way.
I was gonna say that. I was gonna say that exact same thing, because even in a business thing, even if you sign a contract, what they call market forces,
Okay, please.
certain things in the market will force a change, whether you like
Like
it or
it
not.
or not.
Yeah, and even if it's like if you even see certain in football where they will say they sign this person to be a striker, But then the team will get into a situation and they'll say, you know what, you need to come from striker to now become a center midfielder
Ah,
because of the demands of what that situation has created. And so the footballer has to adjust and adapt because of the it. So it's nothing
does
to
he
do
want to? Not necessarily, but for the
exactly.
team, for the overall benefit of the team, he would
You
have
get my
to.
point. Exactly.
Exactly.
And that's the thing that sometimes people fail to understand that, if you look, I'm going to say this. I'm saying this in confidence. I actually knew somebody that I thought, oh, this one we were going to be like get engaged and everything. And one of the things that she said to me was that I don't want to marry a businessman because my father was a businessman and he did, yeah, he made money, but he never had time for us. And it took sickness for him to slow down and start to care about us. And I didn't really like the experience. I said, okay. She said, but everything is business, making money, making money. And I said, see, that was the thing. And that was the reason why that relationship didn't go any further. It was good and everything. 10 years later, I find out, who did she marry? Businessman.
Oh. So, we rest our case.
We were we
Yeah,
we,
so
we,
that's
we,
it.
joke, we joke about it. I said, I thought businessman. Yes.
I bet she will tell you that when they met and they started, it wasn't business minded kind
No.
of. As time went on,
You God
business
says you've
found
taken it.
him.
Yes. When they met, he was doing working in banking. He wasn't even
Something.
then.
Okay.
I think something happened, and he started farm. From the farm business, he moved into product selling, helping people do product from the farms. That's how the business started. I was just laughing. So I would be joking. I say, "Hey, you mind the business partner on now?"
So she will not come and say, because I didn't plan to marry a businessman, I'm going to divorce you. I don't think so. It doesn't work like that.
You
It's
are
too late. She's
getting
three.
you are getting me wrong. Oh.
I'm not
Yes,
getting
yeah.
you. I understand
No,
what you're saying.
I get what you're saying. I get,
Life
but
could be like that as well, but I just wanted to understand that she didn't lie. That's the bit I'm concerned
yes,
about. She didn't
See,
lie.
I'm not against the career change or anything. I am saying, if how do I put it? Somebody that meets me now will know I am still at work at this time of the day when normal people are in their house.
What do you mean? Are you not normal, sis? Don't
No,
start.
don't worry.
I get what you're saying. I get what you're
Do you
saying. I get what you're
understand?
saying.
So if I'm working till this time when I'm single, then okay, let's now say they marry me like this now. They understand this is my pattern. If I change, even if I change career, it won't be a problem. I'm already in my abnormal practice. Do you
Be
understand?
nice to yourself. Be nice to yourself.
No,
Elder Debbie,
listen.
Elder
It's
Debbie,
true.
I honestly understand what you're saying, but take it from me, your sister. We're trying to help you expand your mindset. It
I
might not
don't think you
even
get
be
until you're
you.
in
It
it.
might be your husband you're marrying. And that happens. Would you not say in 10 years time, my husband, you lied to me, or this and this happened, or
Career
something?
is not a
No.
problem.
I understand what
Changing
you're
career is
saying,
not a problem.
but we're talking about marriage. We have to learn to adapt because
That's why I need to say
life
something.
throws things at us. Okay, I gave an example when I was giving my talk. For example, this person, they got married, life was good, they started having children, things are progressing, they were okay, life was good, challenges here and there. Bam, this woman had an accident, lost her leg. Would this man now come? You have deceived me, oh. We were supposed to be till death will come, oh. I did not plan that you will lose
With
your
two
leg.
leg. With two
Therefore,
leg.
I mean,
That's a
it's
different thing.
as good as saying that they lied to you that they will not carry two legs until the end of the marriage. So therefore, uncle, what is gonna happen? Life happens. Life happens, and that is what is called marriage. Somebody you do life with. Come rain, come sunshine. Or you marry this person who they just even wanted to pray one prayer like this. You know them, you're okay. 10 years down the line, God came upon them. They now catch the calling of God upon their lives, which they didn't know when they met you, which they never thought in their lifetime will come their way. And now they are convinced that, no, this is what God wants me to do now. My wife, my husband, this is the burden God has laid on my heart. Would you not say you will not support them? Would you not say, they deceived you, or I didn't marry prophet caller, I didn't marry minister when I married?
I've
Life
heard that one. No. I've
happens.
actually I've heard testimony like that too, where the husband was not even like, he was a Christian, but he wasn't really strong. And then, like, maybe years into the marriage, I think he was in the law profession, and he had a strong call from God and gave up law. And at first, the wife did not like it. Didn't like
There
it.
will be
Like,
the obstacles because
can
they
you
didn't
give up
sign
a?
up for that.
Yeah, it took a while. It took a
Ah,
while, but eventually she turned. But it took a while, like a few years, before she finally, like, okay, yeah, all right, this calling is for real.
and this
So
person, sorry, Leslie, this person that have said they don't want to marry, let's say, a businessman or whatever. How do you not know that maybe when they now we go to that business, you will even love them some more? You never can tell. You never can tell.
it
Say, if it's
happens.
God, He will
It
work on
happens.
both of course. And He will, sometimes they're not together. Have you not heard a husband going to pray, Father, touch my wife? Let her, if truly you have asked me to do this, touch my wife to understand. And then
Abraham and
1 year,
Sarah.
2 years, 3 years, this wife is not understanding.
Abraham and Sarah. Sarah did not believe.
Why?
Sarah was not in.
Thank you.
Sarah did not
Let's go
really.
there.
So Abraham and Sarah is
Yeah.
a good example in the Bible. Like, he was,
They
I
say, do you
guess
know
he
some
didn't get the
people marry
vision.
to build a business, then they will leave, what is it? They will leave the
Leave the
marriage.
marriage.
They lead the marriage.
Then they are
Yeah.
not equipped for it. They're not
They're
mature
not.
enough.
Yeah.
Can I say something? Because I was trying to get in, but you guys were talking so much you didn't hear me. I wanted to bring that up to ask a question.
Please.
Do you know that some people, like when you was talking about business-minded people,
Yeah.
like they will get married. Let's just say they need somebody that has executive skills, or maybe project management skills, or maybe someone who is in television, or whatever it is that they need at that time. And they will get into a relationship,
Evangelist, I was
maybe
just
not
coming
even
to
marriage,
you.
but if they need to get into a marriage with that person, they will. And as soon as that person becomes irrelevant, they are not no longer needed, they move on to the next person. But you would see that the character with these persons are that they are not the givers,
Thank
but
you,
they are the
Evangelist, for
receivers,
stopping
right?
by.
So
Thank
they will
you.
always match themselves up with someone that meets the criteria for whatever is needed to elevate them. Do you believe that? Or you think that that's a myth?
Sis, anything is possible as long as we live on this earth.
It's
It's happening
true.
right
No,
now. It's happening right
It's
nothing is
now. There's a
true.
guy in the
guaranteed.
U.S. politics.
You just
Nothing.
explain somebody's life story right now, sis.
Yeah,
Somebody's real life story. That's
yeah.
what you
There's a.
just explained.
I think there's a senator that he's been married, and the two marriages he's had so far are the two major posts he's had in government as well. Right? Yeah, yeah. I can't. I don't want to call his name, but
No,
there's
no
someone right now in
problem.
America that they are accusing him of marrying his two wives because of the positions he wanted to acquire in government. So yeah, it happens. It happens. Even in Hollywood, there are a lot of people who get married to certain people, so it allows them access to get into certain parts of the industry. So
Different,
it happens all the
right?
time.
Different places. One more thing. I'm not trying to cut you off, Leslie, but I got this from the live that I was in last night, like I told you. So the African men were also talking about like they were talking about prostitutes over there, and they were saying that they give a low vibration, like the energy is transferable, but it's of a low value, right? So what they were talking about when it comes to high value is that they would mingle themselves or have that relationship with women that are of high value, meaning executives, persons who own their own business. And one of the guy in particular, he said he learned to always do that as being a business person. He wouldn't tell anybody what type of business he was in because they would know who he is. And he said that he will go with these ladies and connect with them, and their energy will flow in him and cause him to produce. But I was trying to get into the talk show to say it's not that their energy is getting into you, and if you go with a prostitute, her energy is going to make you any less of a man. It's how you treat the one that you say is a prostitute, as opposed to the one that father is the CEO of a business, or maybe somebody that can benefit you in whatever field that you're going into. But yeah, what do y'all think about that too? Do you think that people going with others that are of more higher status in life will give them some type of energy that will cause them to produce, even if it doesn't come from that person? Like to say, okay, teach me what you know as far as it comes to being a lawyer. But he can use the lawyer, like he said, to help him get out of a lawsuit without having to pay him, because then he uses his body. I was like, Jesus. But that's what he was saying.
I don't know whether to laugh or to even comment, but anybody else can comment because I'm not sure what will come out from this mouth.
That's not a good one.
Yeah, because like
Yeah,
I
usual.
said, I just wanted to tell him that, well, from the Bible perspective, when a man goes with a woman intimately, because from Genesis, there was no ceremony. It was just God presenting Adam to Eve. And then he said, this is now bone of your bone, flesh of your flesh. You should call a woman. And when they sinned, they walked out of the garden, and they were husband and wife as long as they got together and they had their sons and daughters and all that type of stuff. So for me, I feel like that part of a relationship, the joining of two couples, he said, you are now no longer two, but one. That
One.
brings the two of you join. So I think that there is a type of spiritual connection or energy that is transferred.
Definitely.
Yeah, but to
Definitely.
that extent to say, yeah, it's almost like it's
Let me
demonic when you think that it can be where you can literally suck the juice out of somebody else when it comes to their common sense, their education, their career. Like, I just think that that's,
let me this is my own 2 cents. I might be right, I might be wrong, but this is my 2 cents. That man truly may get all that energy and all of that, but guess what? If he was married to them, he would get 100 times more.
I
Do you
know.
understand? Because you've
Yeah.
not taken this woman before God. You see, people don't know. When I was giving my talk, there's something called covenant.
And then it's also,
People need to understand this covenant. That's why you don't attach yourself to as that oneness with just anybody when you're not legally before God married to them. You may think, oh, you're getting benefits and all, but you're shortchanging yourself because you ought to get 100 times more what you think you're getting.
yes,
A
because
man
it
finds a
says
wife and find man who finds a how's that
a wife
passage again?
finds
Finds
favor, obtains favor from the Lord. That's what I was going to say. He obtains favor from the Lord, but you also have some type of men as well that they will befall the women, meaning that they will say, okay, I will get engaged to you, or I am going like give you a promise of marriage. And then there are some that will go even further, that will go and do an eloped marriage, or say, okay, let's go to a different country, knowing quite well that if they do not register the marriage in their country,
it is
you
not
really
void.
are not married. And so that's what I'm saying. See, these men are crafty, because I listened to a man last night on the the talk show. And that time I was on that for 3 hours, and then they didn't let me say anything. I had to just keep on putting my little 2 cents in the comment, because he was literally taking over the whole um, show. Because the gentleman who hosted the show, his topic was "Don't get married," or "There's no need for marriage," something of that sort. And
Wow.
so he had like over 79 persons on that live last night. And, a
That's
lot
what
of the
itchy ears, that's what they want to hear.
Yes. A lot of them were saying, yeah, we are doing away with the marriage. We think that is all just foolishness. And then you had some that were saying, yes, we still believe in marriage. And then they were beating them down and saying, oh, that's just the religious side of it and whatever. So I think by the fact that they saw a minister at the bottom, they didn't let me speak. But they were like,
Oh,
we're not
that's
listening
why.
to that, or whatever the case may be. And so, like I said, it is an imbalance, because you still have some of those that believe in
I
marriage
know.
and the prosperity of finding a wife and obtaining favor, as opposed to just casually dating and feeling like, okay, we can just change and take this clothes of marriage or relationship off and just keep changing, and there's no consequences. Because, like I even told them, um I in the comments, I think that
Thank you.
all of this changing spouses and stuff is why there is a lot of mental illnesses, because that comes with spirit as well. Because when you break someone, and like I like to tell my sons, I said, especially women, when a woman weeps,
Oh, there are
the heavens
consequences.
open, and
Sooner or later, it will
thank
catch
you.
up with
Not
them.
that God don't hear a man's cry, but remember that back in the Bible time, they say call for the wailing women, because there's just something I feel when a woman cries. And so my thing is, even if she is not sobbing to say, okay, and the tears are coming down, just the mere fact that she is saying, I have been with this person and they're doing me wrong, you gonna pay. You you better believe you're gonna pay, you know. So yeah, that's my scoop on that.
Thank you. I mean, there's a million and one cases out there about this marriage we're talking about. People think they can eat their cake and have it. Just like admission said, there are consequences. Sooner or later, it's going to catch up with them. And when they're going through those consequences, people around will be tearing up for them, but they won't tell the people what they have done to warrant certain things, because sometimes they feel, oh, you're getting away with it, getting away. Why do you think the wicked are living and the good ones are the ones dying, or so to say? So don't let me even go deep on that level, because I don't want to scare anybody. But the truth is, this thing called marriage, if we don't do it like the creator initiated it from the foundation,
I'm on the
we won't
live
see the
program.
goodness of it. Period. We won't see the goodness of it. I've heard of a case many years back. I was a teenager then. In fact, till today, this story still sticks with me. This person was living in America. He had a wife, children in America. He was, well, Nigerian anyways. And there's this particular lady, very well respected, she's down to earth and all of that. So many guys in her office wanted to date her, but she just felt these ones are players. She didn't want anything to do with them. So they always like plotting. One day, some guy is going to come and take this lady, and this. And then this friend of theirs who lived in America came to Nigeria and to visit them in the office. And this woman passed by and they started talking. And the guy said, is she not married? She's not married. This beautiful lady not married. Aren't any of you interested? They say, she doesn't like us, so that, this and that. Because maybe the girl have noticed red flags or whatever, I don't know. And guess what? Somehow, this American guy was introduced to this lady. Hello, meet lady. And she, started talking to this person because she felt this person was different to these people, blah, blah, blah. To cut the long story short, this guy actually came to Nigeria to finish his house, however long it took. He was in Nigeria for a couple of years, and whilst he was in Nigeria, he was dating this woman, and it got serious. And this woman, he proposed to this woman with, he has his family in America, but because everybody is talking like, nobody can seem to have her because of her maybe standards or whatever. And this guy proposed to her. They did not go to, sometimes some people are silly. The thing, just like Debbie said, all my family will go to your village to know your people. They kind of bypass a number of things, and she felt like this man will marry me, take me to America. They got married, living still in Nigeria, had one child, and got pregnant again. And this guy, guess what? Disappeared, only to leave a note. Well, it was more like a bet. Me and my friends, if you remember, so, you worked together, and now I've had you. Well, I have left for America to go and meet my wife and children. Imagine somebody going through that, and you think you just go scot-free. Even if she was naive, or if she was silly, or if she was whatever, imagine what you have cost that person if they cry to God in their agony and curse such a man. His wife, his children may just be part of those who will suffer the consequences. So there are some things people do and they get away with it, do and get away with it. When the day of reckoning comes, that's when people see, they'll pity them, but they will not know what they have done to warrant this situation. Sometimes it could be years. You're okay, years. It could be in your old age, the consequences will now come. So we need to be careful. Marriage is sacred before God. Do not toy with it. If you know you're not ready for all that it takes, go and do your research before you go into marriage. Go and do some courses before you go into marriage. Some people are not privileged to. God help them. They went through the marriage counseling, and they say whatever you sow, you will reap. Eventually, when you plant corn, it's not the day you plant it that it will grow, sprout, and you start eating the corn. No, it will take a while. I think it's the bamboo story I heard. I can't remember outright. The bamboo, it will just grow little. Be like, is this thing not going to go? One day you just see the thing sprung up like that. So let's be careful what we do. God may just be looking at us, everybody defining and redefining that institution of marriage to suit whatever. But God is looking. I've given you a manual. I've given you instruction. If you can't follow it, don't think you can do it and still get away with it and not follow all the rules it takes. If you're the person who does not forgive, you don't know how to forgive anybody. Your wife will offend you. Your husband will offend you. How many years in that marriage do you want to keep that in your heart? And who says they only offend you the one time in that marriage institution? So there's a whole lot of things marriage will teach you. You will grow by force, whether you like it or not. As long as you enter into that relationship, I'm speaking from my own experience, whether you, sooner or later, you find out that you have grown, whether you were conscious of it or not. You just find out that the you that entered is not the you looking at you right now. Somehow, a level of growth will come. Somehow, you never had patience for anything. You find out that here, you're just, all of this. And your friends can even testify that, you're so cool-headed these days. It's marriage. It's a lesson teaching you. I don't know if I'm making sense.
You're making so much sense. So much sense, I must admit. Marriage, as you
Please,
have said, so much
submission,
has been,
please. Go on.
yeah, so much has been said that I'm thinking I'm gonna be just kind of recapping so much, yeah, going through your talk and all that you have said and all the contributions, wonderful ones.
Yeah.
But we must lay credence to the fact that marriage is ordained by God. It's a sacred, whatever. It's not something we can toy it about. If you're not ready, just hold on.
Yeah.
And like you just made a point. Now, no one knows the future. We don't even know the next one now. It has to do with God. And here you are. You even taught something like, yeah, some of us were just there, didn't even feel anything. We didn't even know God was going to call. And when the call came, we didn't even know what it meant. It will always come like madness. You don't even know until someone will say, yeah, that's the sign. And you have to answer that call. You don't answer, you lose your peace.
That's the
You just
thing.
have to answer the call. So we don't know our future. Nothing is guaranteed in life. We just have to carry on and put our trust in God.
And keep
God has ordained.
adjusting.
And you kept
Those
referring to the fact.
transitions,
You
you
were
don't
even
know
saying
those transitions,
the
all of it. You do
manual.
not know.
You said you gave the manual. The manuals are there. Let's refer back to it.
Hmm.
On a very lighter note, I'm going to give credence to something that you just said now about how you just find yourself maturing over the time. So, is it me? And people will have even observed vis-a-vis your way, your conduct, and all the rest. On my wedding day, lighter note, after all the dancing and yeah, 20 several years ago, 20 something, yeah, very close to years.
Wow.
After the dancing and back to the whatever, they gave me the microphone to do the vote of thanks. Listening to what your brother said, and I went, marriage is very sweet. It's a very wonderful experience. And the whole hall was roaring, not mocking, but there was a meaning in the way they kind of roared and like, oh, this young man is caught in the excitement of the time and sees what is coming out of his mouth. I'm not saying one or two, almost the whole hall. My senior brother was virtually touching me, say, holy. And I faced my friends. This is my own inferences. It's not book. Yeah, I'm free on this platform to say it. And I was facing my friend where they were, and saying, oh, you guys go and get set and let's go into this marriage thing. With hindsight today, I'm able to look back that, hey, that's why I got that kind of laugh from them. Very simple. Some of them were shaking their head like you're doing as a
You
young man.
don't know nada.
The challenges that have come over the years,
Hey.
with hindsight, I'm like, oh, if anybody does that today, he says it, I will shake my head and say, be careful. But there was also something that I'm looking at again. I say, I was only making a prophetic statement into my life. Didn't know I would be called, didn't know I would become a minister, didn't, it was the farthest thing that I think that I ever. But today I look back and say, oh, was that what I was doing? A prophetic statement into my own life, into my future that I didn't even know. No one knows the future. Let's carry on. Go back to the manuals. Hold on to the one that has called us into this. Procreation is so daddy wants, he needed us to procreate, needed us to carry on. And everything God did is from one generation to another generation. The love He had for us, He wants us to have for our children too. You see how endearing you feel. Watch your daughter or son run and they want to fall. The way you will run, you are feeling like catching them. You're feeling like you should even fall in there instead. Wonderful God. Let's go back and it will be well. Others can come and bring all sorts of doctrines and things that doesn't match, anti-God, anti-marriage and all that. We are not part of that.
No.
It is well with us.
Thank you.
Our
Thank you.
marriage is completely different.
Thank you.
Hostess, I want to contribute just quickly on this point of
It's
the
okay.
marriage thing,
It's okay. Yeah.
because again, I just wanted to touch on what Debbie said. Like I said, and she rightfully said, yes, those who are going to get married to president, they need to know this, that, and that's very true. The thing is that even career is not forever. I
Exactly.
think it's so important that we know these things, that
Mm-hmm.
career is not forever. People change over time. There's different things, and that is why it's so important that we are growing together and not apart. Again, this is why I was saying that it's very important to invest time and effort. It's very, very important.
And to
It doesn't happen by
communicate.
accident. One of the things I have learned in being married, and it's funny, he was talking about his his wedding day, what he said. I remember before I got married to my wife, they told my wife, "It's your husband that you want to marry. Are you sure you want to marry? This one, we don't know whether he's coming or going." And in fact, when I got the day I was getting married, he said, he's got her pregnant. And she was like, "Is this how you see this guy?" And then 2 years later, they say, what's going on? You people, no child yet. What?
Can you imagine?
And my mom was like, you people just have no idea who this person is. You just have this assumption.
Can you
But the
imagine?
long story short is that a lot of them were saying, in fact, there was one that even told her, this one, after maybe a few years, is going to just up and leave. Once he get what he needs, he get, and she says, he guys have no idea of the things.
No.
It's not like what he's telling me, or I actually know some of his very close friends, and I can know the way he goes is not how people are seeing him. You just want to see the part you want to see. But what I'm saying is that a lot of people, they were shocked. There was one wedding we went to recently where they were like, "Eh,
You're
you mean
still
this guy is still
together?
stay?" This was when I think we
Wow.
done. I think we done fifth.
Ah,
I think it
Leslie,
was.
tell us, were you a playboy? Tell us.
No, I think we done 13 years then, and I remember one of the brothers was like, "Hey, you mean this guy is still married to this girl?" And my wife was still laughing. But one of the things that people change, even in marriage,
Yeah.
people change. I've
Right.
I've seen
Right.
it's up to the individual. That's what I'm trying to say. My point is, it's up to the individuals in that marriage what they are looking for, and the more you give into it, and I'm very, very specific on this term, the more you give into marriage, the more you're going to get out of it. What tends to happen is that we sometimes can get into a situation where we start to think I'm just doing too much. But really, we're not, everything we're doing is a reflection of who we are. I'll give you an example. I was going through something recently, and that's why I'm saying that I have my own struggle in my marriage, so don't think I'm perfect. But
We
I
all
was going through, I was going through something. I was like, "Ah, this thing, man, madam." And then I saw something recently that just triggered me to see that problem completely different. Just changed my, and it just changed my point to it just changed my way of seeing that thing to the point where I said, hey, how was I thinking like this? So why didn't I get this thought? And it just dawned on me when this thought change happened. It says that it's because you were looking for an answer. And so when it finally came, it came in a way you didn't even expect it.
Yeah.
And it just shifted how I saw that problem to the point that it's no longer a problem to me.
Wow.
It's no longer a problem to me anymore. The thing hasn't really changed per se, but it no longer bothers me.
Your mindset has changed.
Yes, and I say it's more to do with us, the individual, and everything we do is a reflection of who we are. And that's why I was saying that when people are saying about, oh, the ways this, no, it's a reflection of you. You are unstable. You don't have, you're not grounded in your decision making. You're looking for incentives.
Yeah.
Because I would tell it to the same people. I've said it to someone before. I said, in your career, in your job, when things change, you don't just say, I'm out of it. You stay. You walk it through. You find ways of adjusting and adapting. But in your mind, maybe because you feel you don't really bound that you don't value your spouse. And it goes both ways. You have not come to a place where you value your spouse. Because if you value your spouse, it's actually a reflection of who you are. The Bible said it very clear. How a man treats his wife is how he treats his body. So if you are going to be verbally abusive, sarcastic, and horrible to your wife, it's a reflection of you as a person. It reflects your character. It has nothing to do with the other person. Now, they are the vessel that's taking your nonsense, but it's a reflection of you as a person. And that's why Jesus Christ said, good fruit cannot come out from a bad tree. Another bad fruit come out from a good tree. What's in you is what's going to come out. So that's why the biggest change in any situation, but in marriage, in terms of marriage, is the individual. What are we looking at? What are we willing to work on? And what are we willing to seek out and do our homework for our marriages to be good? I'm going to say, don't take any, I'm not boasting, I have a good marriage. Well, that's not because we are perfect. It's nothing to do with us being perfect. We have done certain things to work at it. And like I said, we keep putting things ahead of us to look forward to. And I believe sometimes there's no upward pull because the foundation is not right. And so sometimes some people have to go back and rebuild their foundation. So that when they're going up, they have strong foundation. They help them as they're going upwards. Or else, if you're going upward but you don't have a good foundation, you probably drift apart. So that's what I want to. I'll just leave it there. But marriage in and of itself is not the problem. As Debbie has said, it is the individuals. It is the individuals. Thank you.
Thank
Let me
you
build on to what
so
Leslie
much.
just said. Let me build on to what
Okay, yeah, go
I,
on.
I, I find that sometimes the wisdom we draw from those who are ahead of us, because we just said it's generational, ordained by God, and all. We're supposed to tap knowledge here and there and evolve as we carry on. My mom used to say one thing: none of us have a perfect marriage, like you just said. Too, we're all evolving.
Yeah.
My mom will say one thing:
Thank you. Let's
don't
hear.
involve a third party. Don't involve a third party. I used to look at her as what's this woman talking about this third party thing, this third party thing. Only once for this number of years when the third party came in, I was an inch from having the whole thing scattered. But I think my mind went back and said, this woman, this is it. I was able to identify this is the third party. This is the kind of person my mom was referring to in her own wisdom. That where you're settling, don't I saw all the handiwork and what the person was about to, the havoc she was coming through. But God helped me with grace to be able to stand up. So it's not as if we're painting a picture of perfect. No, no, no. We're all carrying on. Sister Debbie, go ahead. Someone will come. Somebody perfect. Somebody that will fit you. Somebody that will fit you. It's just carry on. Let's carry on.
It's just
Just
like you
learn from it.
says, and I'll say this, Debbie. I don't know why, just to encourage you. I told you next year I'm going to be 50. I'm not hiding it. I'm not going to mention name, but this person is so dear to me. And I remember the crying nights we would pray, and at some point he started this relationship and we were praying. One of our biggest prayer is, Father, let your will be done. Let your will be done. Because you can't wait till you're almost late 40s before getting married as a man and now go and marry the wrong person again. You can imagine. And before you know it, one thing somehow God orchestrated his thing and they broke off. And even me, I cried like, hey, Shebi, Holy Spirit said, is it not you that was praying for God's will? Do you want the man in his old age to not be at peace and all of that? I just kept quiet. I said, okay. We kept praying. And God kind of brought him back to his old time, one time love. And this person has never been married. They too are trusting God. Somehow God orchestrated it. It's like they now rekindle the old love. And I tell you, within the space of 3 years, they got married. They have 2 children. Probably third is on the way. Who knows? Just to let you know. And this person is about my age as well. So you can imagine, and my own children, as I was telling you, my own children, they are grown and all. So even getting married, we were a bit worried. We were a bit, concerned. We will pray. It was our prayer point like that. And when he said, when the Lord turned the captivity of Zion, they were like them that dream. This person eventually marry, very respectful. In fact, by height, she's even taller, so to say, but the way this woman carries her king and all of that. And when we look back, it's just like everything is like a dream. Within the space of this year, God did this, God did that. And the thing again, in their family, they always have to look for children. He got married the year after, celebrating 1 year, big belly. The 2 years later, big belly and all of that. Okay, admissions. Okay, all right. Thank you so much for your submissions today. Really appreciate you. Thank you. Also rounding up as well, because we'll call it a night shortly. So what am I trying to say? It's hard, it's painful, it's somehow when you have to wait. But because you're waiting, you know the reason why you're waiting, because you don't want to. We will not wait in vain in Jesus' name. It's not possible to wait in vain in Jesus' name. We will have to carry on that belief, that faith. The person God has created to be the bone of your bone will come. The thing is, society have said if you're 20 something, if you don't marry, don't get to 30 something, if you don't marry, society have put this condition that is making people to be worried, having mental breakdown and all of these things. But time is nothing with God. So with God, in his time, he makes all things beautiful. I don't know who else is listening to me out there. If you desire marriage, also desire God's kind of marriage, God's kind of wife, God's kind of husband. Even in their imperfection, they will be perfect for you. They will be perfect for you, trust me, even in their imperfection. And that is what I say to myself, what I'll say to my brother or sister. And there's a saying in Yoruba, in my language, that somebody who tarries in eating the goodness will not eat bad goodness. I don't know how to translate it, but I'm sure Debbie, you know what I'm trying to say. What are we saying? We're encouraging you. Marriage is of God and it's a good thing because everything God created, He said it is good. Marriage is not bad.
You mentioned my name.
Yeah, I was just saying maybe you help me translate that proverb into English or something.
What proverb?
Ẹni tó bá pẹ́ jẹun kò ní jẹ̀bàjẹ́, something like that.
He will laugh last, laugh best. Kind of.
Okay.
My
Something
lady,
like
Minister Sarah,
yeah.
rush is not in Debbie's dictionary. When I talk, I am only talking based on experience,
Yeah.
based on things I have seen from
We know
people.
she's
From
contented in
people
her single person.
I am very fine. I am not discouraged by marriage. I know when my time comes, God will bring my own. I
Yeah.
am not anytime God bring. I'm not. I don't have a problem. When I talk, I'm only saying it for people out there to know. I am fine. I am saying all the question I ask me before I ask the question, I already know that it's
Of
one thing
course.
or two things it will lead to. It's either they leave me or they leave me. Two ways. I'm not asking. I would rather ask the question and you leave than at the end of the day.
Not have peace of
I'm
mind in
enjoying
your
my life as it is now.
Please
Yeah.
do.
So
I
I'm only
said that.
saying everything I'm saying for people out there to pick one or two things to learn from, to understand that it's not that bad. Being single is not that bad. It's just that if you rush into it's better you are single than you enter there at the end of the day. If you see the lady you were talking saying her story, the man didn't do her any bad though. You are talking about it's not the man's fault. She chose not to do her part. She's a lawful captive. She needs to go back to God and ask for mercy.
Yeah, true.
Sometimes it's not the people that treat you bad. You look inside and see how did I participate. So that's where it is.
Yeah. It takes to God will help us. Those are the things for the single people eventually. When that time comes, don't say, "Ah, I've met Mr. Perfect, there's butterfly in my belly," and all of those things. Do not ignore those red flags before going into marriage. Like I say, when you get into marriage, they will become rainbow, not just red. It will be rainbow flags. Which one do you now want to deal with? So it's better to have a broken engagement than a broken marriage. It's better that way. Find the right person for you that you're ready to go through this life's journey with, through the thick, the thin, through the bad, the ugly, through the ups and downs. Be ready that this is the person you have chosen to go down that path with. Do you know all of their heart? No. And one of the things I'm gonna say this, I don't know, just kept coming to mind. I forgot, I don't know who was talking then. One thing again, especially for believers in marriage relationship, it's hard to want to think your spouse has backslided, but these things do happen. And the earlier we face that, the better we know what to do, or we know what to pray for, we know how to manage that situation. People don't want to hear my spouse backslided. No, they believe once you're in faith, you're forever in faith. But then you start seeing some traits, some characters, some behaviors that is like, "Ah, what's wrong with this person?" Maybe you're in denial as a spouse or what, I don't know. But these things do happen. Did you plan for it when you were signing? Because you all say, I love Jesus, I love Jesus. Before you know, they start partying small, like, and they start doing all sorts. So a whole lot happens in marriage. And the fact that that transition is happening at that time does not mean your marriage has failed. And that was what I asked the admission to help me put on there. Say a broken engagement you can recover from, but a broken marriage, Lord have mercy. Indeed, Lord have mercy. So let's be mindful. Marriage is a beautiful thing God has created. And like I always say, you're not seeing the goodness of marriage. You need to check yourself. It's not that God created this bad institution. No, that is not God's intention. We're not living it the way the master planner planned it. And that's why a lot of divorce, a lot of separation, a lot of chaos, a lot of impatience, a lot of conditional love, a lot of non-tolerance, a lot of these things are there. A lot of unforgiveness, unforgiveness on top of unforgiveness. How can you survive this? How can you enjoy marriage this way? So we need to work on ourselves. Pray for your spouse to work on themselves, because like we've talked, you can't really change anyone as such. Once in a while you can pinpoint, oh, this one I don't like, who can you? They may listen, but you and I know that it's only God that can turn the heart of a man. So you might have to pray some more and check yourself as well, that you're not contributing to whatever it is. It's not easy as such, but it can be enjoyed if you follow that manual. So on that note, I think we'll call it a night for today. Thank you all so much. Unforgiveness in marriage. In fact, I think we've treated that before, or was it individual? I don't even know. A lot of jealous
So,
people who trick others into leaving their spouse. I know.
sorry, hostess, I just want to say another thing because this my topic
Yeah,
is
yeah,
all
go
too.
on. I know.
But
I know.
but I have to say I have to say this. It's very important, if especially here in the Western world. If you are a Christian, please pray, and pray for your marriage. Do not be complacent in the
Ah.
area of prayer. I cannot emphasize that enough. I cannot emphasize how many times the Holy Spirit at some moment will tell me, Leslie, don't say another word. Don't speak. And it has been a game changer. And vice versa for my wife as well. I would say it, if you are a believer, I'm now married and everything is wonderful. Let me tell you, even with money, if you don't have a strong prayer life, things can go wrong in the worst possible way. I have witnessed some very good friends of ours that are very well to do, and the divorce was acrimonious.
You said so.
Like,
I know.
very acrimonious.
It's
And
not about money. It's not about
yes,
who you know. It's about the God of
so
the institution that you have allowed into your
yes,
home.
please
Yeah.
pray. Please pray. Have regular prayer in your home. Have an individual regular prayer life. Don't wait for your wife or your husband. Have your own time of prayer. And if one of you is not praying, don't let that stop you. Don't
all.
don't let my wife is not praying as much as I do. You continue. God will. The Lord is faithful.
Yeah.
It's so important. It's very, very important. So I just want to leave it on that when it comes to marriage. Just have a very strong prayer life. Don't wait for the other person. You go on, do what you need to do. God will reward you for your faithfulness. Thank you.
Amen. Thank you, Leslie. Thank you. As well. Prayer is important. That's why I always say, please, in as much as this phrase goes about family that prays together stays together, don't put yourself in that bondage. If your spouse is not wanting to pray with you, don't say, we will not stay together. No, change that from your mindset. Rather carry on praying, because maybe you're the one holding the family at that time, and the time will come when they will find their way back there. So don't allow those kind of phrases to put you in bondage and you start fighting your spouse unnecessarily. Please be careful. Pray and let God do his thing. Trust God and trust that he would touch your spouse eventually, and they'll find their way back to that praying room. Thank you so much, Leslie, for that addition. Thank you. A13. Oh my God. Look, we've taken it to 50.6. Oh, wow. Yes, Minister Sarah, thank you so much for your contribution as well. Elder Debbie, I love the twist you always bring in. I mean, it's always good to expand as much as possible for the sake of people listening on the FYP listening. There's some people, they just talk there. When I go back to be saying thank you, I'll see the number of hours some people have stayed, but yet they refuse to come into the box. And I'm, wow, They said for 2 hours plus, and I couldn't see them anywhere, but they're there listening. And that's why we always come back every Thursday to talk about this marriage relationship topics. It's very crucial in our own world, in our own way. Let us promote the goodness of marriage as God intended. I know, like we say, we're not perfect, but at least we're still following that manual and trying to get as much as much from this marriage union. And my prayer is that if you're looking, the Lord will bring the bone of your bone, the flesh of your flesh. No matter how long it takes, know that God doesn't do mistake, and it doesn't do coincidence. I'm telling you, God is intentional. And if you can wait on him, he would lead you and guide you as long as you let him anyways. And also, if you're in that marriage relationship and you feel it's rocky, don't think your marriage has failed. It's going through its patch to developing, to growing, and to be deeper. Just know that. Be positive in your mind regarding your marriage. Marriage is a good institution. We'll learn today. It's not marriage that is bad. It's the people going into it. They're not doing the right things. And that's why we're seeing a lot of divorce and separation. God will help all of us. I'm going to read this again that I said. It's my closing from my talk today. So whether you're single, engaged, newly married, or seasoned in years in terms of marriage, the principles of a healthy marriage are timeless. Love deeply, forgive freely, communicate honestly, and grow continually together with your spouse. God bless you so much, everyone. Thank you for all the tappings. Thank you for sharing. Thank you for the gifts as well. I really appreciate every single one of you for your contributions immensely. I say thank you. God bless you. Have a wonderful night. Happy month of May once again. Enjoy the weekend. It's even bank holiday Monday. Hey, again. Hey, holiday. Have a lovely, lovely holiday and be good. Enjoy the sunshine whilst it's here. Well, those who are in this part of the world. Thank you all so much. I really, really love and appreciate every one of you. Do have a wonderful night rest. God bless you. Good night. Thank you. Elder Debbie, no offering. Oh, somebody is just wanting to come up. We just finished. Thank you. Thank you so much. 8:13. God bless you. Yeah. Thank you, Elder Debbie. Thank you. Have a wonderful night rest. God bless.